And by Sears, where satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. For quality, value, and service, you can count on Sears. By Schlitz Malt Liquor, the Bull. For a taste that's big and smooth and bold, the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. By Mark C. Bloom. You can't choose the right tire if you don't have a choice. Mark C. Bloom. By Canon. Quality cameras and photographic equipment that's so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. And by Republic Airlines, the official airline of the Kings. Nobody serves our Republic like Republic Airlines.
Live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, welcome to the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs. Tonight, the Los Angeles Kings open the best-of-5 series against Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. Hi, everybody. This is Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. The first game of a best 3-out-of-5 series, the Kings against the Oilers. And the Kings have never won here in Edmonton. They have lost 4 and tied 4 since Edmonton came into the NHL. And this season, they managed only 1 win in 8 games in the season series against the Oilers.
Right, looking at the games individually right now, October 10th was game 1 at the Los Angeles Forum. The Oilers 7, the Kings 4. November 25, here in Edmonton, the Oilers trounced the Kings 11-4, 5 points for Wayne Gretzky in that game. December 9th at Los Angeles, the Oilers and Kings with a 5-5 tie, with Mark Hardy scoring late in the game to tie it up. December 27th, back here at Edmonton, the Oilers again taking charge, 10-3 over the Kings. 4 games between these clubs were played last month, the month of March, March 10th at Los Angeles. The Kings 3, the Oilers 2, in a great all-around effort by the Kings, their only victory this season against the Oilers. March 15th, back here at Edmonton, the Kings and the Oilers, a 3-3 tie, the only point the Kings got out of this building this season. The final 2 games, March 28th, back in Los Angeles, the Oilers 6, the Kings 2. The final game about a week and a half ago, March 31st, here at Edmonton, the Oilers 7 and the Kings 3. And in the 8 games, Bob, the Oilers outscored the Kings 51-27.
So it's going to be a tough battle in this series for the Kings, and we had a chance before the game tonight to talk with Kings head coach Don Perry. And we asked Don Perry for his thoughts on this playoff series.
Don, I don't think anybody in Alberta or anywhere else around the National Hockey League gives the Kings a chance in this playoff series against the Oilers. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I think you're absolutely right in saying that. But the only thing is, when you're in that position, you got nowhere to go, but up. And in previous years, at least lately, it's been the opposite way. So you never know. There's always an upset every year, and we're hoping that maybe we can pull it off in Edmonton.
In this game tonight, what do you feel the Kings have to do if they're going to win tonight and win the series?
Well, certainly Mario Lessard has to come up strong for us. Also, Danny Bonner has to do a good job on Gretzky, which is no easy task. But the rest of the players have got to be there, too. They've got to be there emotionally, physically. The wingers have got to be able to cover their checks well. And it's just one of those things where we've got to really work harder than they do, because they do have the edge on us.
Last year in the minor leagues in Saginaw, you told your team as an incentive going into the playoffs, if they won, you'd jump out of an airplane. I guess with a parachute. Have you figured out any incentives for the Kings?
Well, if I thought that would do it, believe me, I would say that again. But no, not other than what we've really just, to straighten out the year. If we could ever do this, it would wipe out that bad season they've had previously. But Dr. Jerry Buss has come through once again, and he has offered them an incentive, and that is a trip to Hawaii for a week. So, if they don't have enough already, that should...
Montreal 2, Quebec nothing. In the second period at Long Island, the Islanders lead Pittsburgh 3-1. And in the second period at Boston, it's Boston 2, Buffalo nothing. Now with the starting lineup, here's Nick Nixon.
Thank you, Bob. First for the Edmonton Oilers, their rookie sensation, Grant Fuhr, will be in goal on the season. He lost just 5 times. 28-5-14 was his record. On defense, young Charlie Huddy along with Risto Siltanen. At center, Monty Hogman. Right wing, Dave Lumley. Left wing will be Mark Messier. For the Kings, Mario Lessard in goal. Dave Lewis and Jerry Korab on defense. Nichols, Hopkins, and Kelly up front. The officials for tonight's game, the referee will be Ron Wicks, the linesman Kevin Collins, along with Will Norris. The alternate official is Don Koharski, and the minor officials for this series are from Calgary. The goaltenders, Mario Lessard for the Kings, 13, 28, and 8 in the regular season, and an average of 4.36. He had 2 shutouts this season. 19 years old, Grant Fuhr in nets for the Oilers. An outstanding first year in the NHL. 28 wins, just 5 losses and 14 ties, and an average of 3.31. The Kings, of course, coached by Don Perry, who took over the club in January. The Oilers head coach is also their general manager, Glenn Sather. This is game 1 of the best-of-5 series, and here with the first period, Bob Miller.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. And off the draw, Bernie Nichols gets checked right over the Oiler bench, but he flips the puck back behind the Oiler net. Nichols got hit right in front of the Oiler bench and got draped over the boards, but he flipped it into the Oiler zone. Oilers with it. Puck fired into the King zone. It comes around the left side to Charlie Huddy. His shot bounces off Korev. Picked up by the Oilers. Held in by Lumley in the King zone. Left wing corner. Pass in front to Messier, and he shot it wide. Rebound off the boards. J.K. Kelly bumps Lumley. Lumley centers it. Korev intercepts. Korev sends it up the right side to Jimmy Fox. His pass to Kelly. Kelly ahead to Nichols. Tried to go down the middle. He got knocked down, and Charlie Huddy tipped it away. Oilers with it. Game underway. Up to center ice. First period just underway. Puck comes into the King zone off the stick of Lumley. Broken up by Jimmy Fox. Fox had 2 goals here the last time the 2 teams met. He drives it down into the Oilers zone, and Grant Fuhr flips it off the boards up to center ice. Oilers with it. Pass to Messier from Monty Hogman. Broken up by Mark Hardy. Kings have Chartrand Hardy back in defense as they are changing now. Hopkins comes out up front. Bernie Nichols is still out. Wayne Gretzky on the ice for the Oilers. Puck taken by Kevin Lowe. Lowe fires it back behind the King net. Lessard gives it to Hopkins on the right wing. He didn't catch up with it. Held in by Yari Curry. Curry's pass stolen by the Kings. Here's Chartrand. His pass deflects off the body of Glenn Anderson. Gretzky picked it up. Dan Bonner. And we've got both of them going to go, but Gretzky slashed at Bonner right away as Danny Bonner was all over Gretzky. And now Glenn Anderson comes over. So the King strategy, as we told you, Don Perry sending Dan Bonner out to bother Gretzky, and he has. They're going to put Gretzky in the penalty box along with Bonner, but that takes the great Gretzky off the ice. Excuse me, Nick, I just wanted to say this is an officially copyrighted broadcast of California sports and the Los Angeles Kings. Any rebroadcast or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
Puck came free at the circle to the right of Mario Lessard, and Bonner is going to go for interference. Gretzky will get 2 for slashing. So Don Perry will take that trade anytime. 1:19 into the first period, the time of the penalties. So both clubs will be shy a skater.
Face-off will be to the right of Mario Lessard. Marcel Dion out for the Kings. Oilers with it. Left point. Held in by Kevin Lowe. He shoots. Sticked into the corner. Picked up by Messier for the Oilers. He tried to center it. He's bumped against the boards and knocked down by Chartrand. Oilers with it again. Anderson to the blue line to Kevin Lowe. He shoots. Sticks a rebound. Anderson. He scores.
Well, the problem right there, no one came out to cover the left defenseman, Kevin Lowe. He had time to pick up the pass and let the shot go. Lessard did make the save, but right there for the rebound was Glenn Anderson, who scored 103 points in the regular season, and from a very sharp angle, he slid it in past the sprawling Lessard, and the Oilers take the lead 135 into game 1.
The assist to Kevin Lowe is the rebound of Lowe's shot. And number 17, Yari Curry. Now Curry at center ice. He drives it in, and now Jay Wells knocks Curry down at center ice. Curry had whacked Wells with a stick, and Wells got up and threw a punch at Curry. Now Fogelin tries to get over at Wells, and Dion is pushing Fogelin out of the way, and Wells trying to get at Fogelin at center ice.
Of course, a lot of high tempers, possibly from that last time the clubs met here in Edmonton, and Jay Wells is really upset. He better watch himself or he may get ejected. We've played just a minute 52.
Wells was flipping the linesman Kevin Collins around pretty well at center ice. And we're going to get more penalties here now. Wells is still out on the ice. And Fogelin trying to get over there. And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
The ice surface, play at center ice. Yari Curry was being roughed up by Jay Wells, knocked to the ice, and then as Lowe tried to get over to aid his right winger, Yari Curry, that's when everybody was doing the pushing and shoving, and Wells manhandled the linesman in his efforts to get at Lee Fogelin.
And Wells has gone to the King dressing room. Here's the announcement. Wells, 2 for roughing, 10-minute misconduct, and a game misconduct. Well, that doesn't do the Kings much good. They lose a defenseman like Jay Wells in the first minute and 52 seconds of the game. Fogelin gets a 10-minute misconduct. So the Oilers lead at 1-0 early in the first period. This game is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey is brought to you by Canon. Quality cameras and photographic equipment that's so advanced it's simple. Canon, the official camera of the Los Angeles Kings.
Here in the playoffs, both teams, all teams in the playoffs, can dress an extra player, 20. And that may be a break, at least for the Kings, as you look back here at this first period later on in the game. Kings have 12 forwards dressed, as do the Oilers. Both clubs started with 6 defensemen. So with Wells gone for the balance of this game, that leaves 5 defense for Don Perry. So that extra man, at least right now, has paid off for the Los Angeles Kings.
Both teams still a man short. Oilers lead at 1-0. Bernie Nichols wins the draw for the Kings and drives it into the Oilers zone. Kings have Nichols up front. Or excuse me, the Oilers have 4 men on. The Kings are a man short. It's 4-on-3. Here come the Oilers. Just that minor penalty against Wells. Siltonen over to Coffey. Coffey drives it around the left wing boards. Curry with it there. Curry for the Oilers. He tried to pass in deep, and Korab took it away and cleared it back into the Oilers zone. Oilers leading 1-0. Wayne Gretzky has a minute to go on his penalty, and so does Dan Bonner. And J.P. Kelly is serving the minor penalty given to Jay Wells. Here come the Oilers into the Kings zone. At the right point, Oilers with it. Over to Yari Curry at the left point. Curry up the middle. Gets it back again. Curry moving in. Shoots. Hit the side of the net. Puck taken by Korab. Korab's pass up the right side. It is held in by Siltonen. His pass in deep. Taken by Anderson. And now Anderson and Korab get tangled with each other behind the net. And Anderson got his stick up. And now Coffey and Korab go.
Boy, I tell you, the tempers are really hot, and we're going to get more penalties. Coffey wanted to get a piece of Jerry Korab. Korab had dropped one of his gloves and a stick, and it looks like another misconduct.
Well, Dave Lewis is arguing with official Ron Wicks, and I think maybe the only penalty here is going to go to Korab. And the Oilers already leading 1-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings.
So Jay Wells gone for the game with 2 for roughing, a misconduct, and a game misconduct at 1:52. Now sees the Kings down to 4 defensemen, at least for the next 10 minutes. 1-0 Oilers. Anderson, the goal at 1:35.
Oilers still on the power play. Kings were 21st in the league in penalty killing. Puck comes over to Lumley, left wing. Lumley bumped by Larry Murphy. Lumley bumped in the corner again by Murphy. Gets a pass to Messier. Puck comes loose. Siltonen with it for the Oilers. Passes up the middle. Oilers still with it, King zone. Siltonen now back to the right side to Hagman. Over in the corner. Messier in front to Lumley all alone. He shot it wide to the right side. He spun around and tried a backhander. Shot it wide. Here's Matty Hagman down the right side. He shoots. Deflected and up into the crowd. I think off the skate or stick of Dave Lewis.
Oilers still have 33 seconds left on their power play. Throughout the course of the regular season, the Oilers' power play was 5th best in the NHL at 25.2%, while the Kings' penalty killing unit was 21st at 71.3. And the Oilers did very well against the Kings this year on the power play. So the Oilers getting that early lead at 1-0. Now they have Gretzky back out after serving his minor, and the faceoff deep to the left of goaltender Mario Lessard in Los Angeles ice.
Same 2 teams will meet here again tomorrow night in Game 2. We'll have it for you live at 6:20 on radio and TV. And the first game in Los Angeles Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets available for that game. Forum box office and Ticketron. Kings win the draw. Danny Bonner clears it to center right. Taken by Paul Coffey. Coffey back in his own zone. Checked by Mike Murphy. Coffey picks it up. Wheels it around the boards. They've got 22 seconds left to go on the power play. Puck comes up to center ice, taken by Chartraw. He gives it to Bonner. Stan Bonner at center ice, sends it into the Oilers zone, but Mike Murphy's offside on the play, and we're down to 16 seconds left to go in the minor penalty given to Jay Wells. That's being served by J.P. Kelly. 16:24 left in the first period. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon, and the Oilers ahead 1-0.
We mentioned both clubs dressing 20 players at the outset. The only scratch for Edmonton is former King Gary Unger. 3 scratches for the Kings: Al Sims, Greg Terrion, and newcomer Phil Sykes, who just signed a National Hockey League contract Monday.
Gretzky out on the ice for the Oilers, and Dan Bonner out for the Kings. Puck comes in the Kings zone, taken by Hardy. Hardy's pass up on the right wing, out of the reach of Mike Murphy. Comes down into the Oilers zone, and Paul Coffey will go back to get it. Coffey goes back behind his own net. Oilers skating from right to left in the first period as you join us on our radio and television simulcast. Puck taken away by Hardy. His pass stolen. Oilers with it. Messier had 50 goals on the year. He cuts down the left side. Pass in front is wide. Out to the right point. Held in by the Oilers. Gary LaRiviere, but his pass flips up over the glass, up into the crowd. Wayne Gretzky has played 239 NHL games. He scored 198 goals, 313 assists, for a total of 513 points in that span. In the playoffs, Gretzky's played 12 playoff games in his career and has 24 points. 7 goals, 13 assists last year in 9 games. 15:49 to go in the first period. Best 3 out of 5 series. Dave Taylor out for the Kings along with Dion and Simmer. And this line had not been going good down the stretch. And Don Perry, King coach, said they have to play well if the Kings are going to be in this series. Now we have a penalty to Semenko as he interfered with Dave Taylor. Taylor was coming down the right wing far away from the puck. And Dave Semenko gets a 2-minute interference penalty here in the first period, his first time out on the ice. So he goes to the penalty box, and the Kings will go on the power play with a chance to tie the score. This game is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by Republic Airlines, the official airline of the Kings. Nobody serves our Republic like Republic Airlines.
Dave Semenko in the penalty box, and as he went in, he was jawing at Jerry Korab, who was serving a 10-minute misconduct. Semenko led the club in penalty minutes this year with 194, and he's really their watchdog out there for the smaller players. He runs 6'3", 215 pounds.
And Taylor was not even near the puck as Semenko caught up with him at center ice and then interfered with him as they came into the Oilers zone. All right, Kings on the power play. Bernie Nichols out at center. Simmer and Taylor are the wings. Dion to the right point. Darrell Evans at the left point. And off the draw, right toward Grant Fuhr. Fuhr sends it up the right wing boards. Dion with it. Dion over to Bernie Nichols. Nichols centered it. Charlie Huddy broke it up. Huddy's pass off the boards, taken by Messier for the Oilers in the Oilers zone. Messier back behind his own net, drops it off to Siltanen. Gretzky's hanging around out of the red line. Dion's got him. Puck taken by the Oilers. Siltanen back in his own zone. Here's Siltanen across his own line. His pass to the King line, intercepted by Dion. 1-0 Oilers lead. Dion to Taylor. Taylor to Darrell Evans. It went off his skate. Gretzky comes in looking for it. And the goaltender, Lassard, took his time. And as Gretzky cut to the left, Lassard passed it around him. Here's Dion into the Oilers zone. Top of the slot. He shoots. Saved by Fuhr. Rebound in front. Simmer couldn't jam it in. Loose puck. Simmer with it again. It hit the side of the net. It's still loose. Taylor with it. Right wing corner. Out to the right side to Nichols in the faceoff circle. He shoots. Saved by Fuhr. And he grabs the rebound.
First 2 shots on goal right there for the Kings, and it comes on the power play with Semenko in the box. And the Kings power play during the regular season, 16th in the NHL at 21.1%, while the Oilers' penalty killing was outstanding. They tied with Minnesota in first place at 81.9%. So the Kings have their work cut out for them in this series against this outstanding Edmonton Oilers penalty killing unit. Faceoff will be to the left of Grant Fuhr, who again just faced his first 2 shots on goal.
Bernie Nichols out at center. He had 32 points in only 22 NHL games, 14 of those goals, and he wins the draw, but it comes all the way back behind the King net. Marcel Dion back to get it there. 14:37 to go in the first period. 1-0 Oilers. Here's Taylor. Taylor to center ice, head to Bernie Nichols. Nichols down the left side, cutting in front. He gets knocked down. Nothing called by Ron Wicks. Puck is against the boards. Charlie Simmer goes for it. Loose puck. Simmer picks it up. Left wing corner. Oilers zone. Simmer back to Dion. Now at the left point. Here's Dion passing in deep to Taylor. He didn't get it behind the net. Taken away by Kevin Lowe. He tries to clear it. Evans couldn't hold it in. It came off the boards and is cleared by Messier into the Kings zone. Lumley chases Dion for it. Dion picks it up with 29 seconds left to go in the King power play. Here's Darrell Evans. Evans, the rookie, up the center ice to Jimmy Fox. Fox over to Bozak down the left side. Bozak cutting in. He shoots. He scores! Steve Bozak, who had 8 regular season goals against the Oilers, cut around Lumley on the left wing and put it in the right-hand corner. A power play goal for the Kings, and the game is tied at 1-1.
Beautiful pass by Jimmy Fox to Steve Bozak in the open down left wing, and from the base of the left wing circle, he beat Grant Fuhr low along the ice. It just went inside the right post. So Steve Bozak gets his 9th goal against the Oilers in 9 games this year, and of course his first ever playoff goal. Fox with the assist along with Darrell Evans. So 3 youngsters chip in on the Kings' first playoff goal here in 1982. We're tied up at 1.
Funny thing about that was that Evans really had trouble getting rid of the puck and getting the pass to Fox. Now the puck back behind the King net. Oilers with it. Around the front. Shot score by Rolston. Nobody picked him up. Tom Rolston came around the net, and he scores his first playoff goal ever, and not a King picked him up as he came around the net.
That right there is just a mental mistake on the part of the players out there on the ice. Someone has to play positional hockey to the right of Mario Lessard, obviously. Both defensemen got caught to the left of Lessard. Hardy was right to the left of the goal crease, Chartrand to the left of the slot area, and Ralston just skated all alone from behind the net out front, and he beat Lessard cleanly.
And now here's Ralston shooting. He hit the goal post. He centers it again, and Lessard holds it against the side of the net. So Ralston almost got another goal. It took the Oilers only 16 seconds to take the lead again. Bozak scored at the 6-minute mark. Ralston at 6:16. Hughes with the only assist on the goal by Ralston.
Again, 16 seconds after the Kings got what they hoped would be some momentum back after a very shaky first couple of minutes. Again, Jay Wells has been banished already with 22 minutes in penalties, including a game misconduct. Jerry Korab still serving a misconduct. Bozak's goal from about 15 feet.
And now another goal. Gretzky tipped it in. He went behind the net and he tipped it in. And Wayne Gretzky has scored his first playoff goal this season, and the Oilers lead 3-1. His 93rd goal of the year for Wayne Gretzky. So the Kings find themselves down 3-1 after they had tied it at 1-1. Oh, they're going to give it to Siltanen. Going to give the goal to Siltanen at 6:36, and Gretzky gets an assist.
Possibly it went off one of the Kings in front of Mario Lessard, and apparently someone has thrown something out onto the ice, and we're going to have a little delay. So 3 goals in the span of 36 seconds. Bozak at the 6-minute mark, Ralston at 6:16, and now Siltanen at 6:36.
And we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings with Nick Nixon back. Hardly tight playoff hockey. 3 goals in 36 seconds, and the Oilers ahead 3-1. Puck fired by Dave Lewis into the Oilers zone. The fans roaring because Dave Semenko is out trying to intimidate some of the Kings, but J.P. Kelly walked over, had a few words with him. Puck taken by the Oilers. Here's Siltanen with it now. Siltanen comes up the center ice. His pass into the Kings zone. Gretzky centers it. Anderson saved by Lessard. Nice pass by Gretzky from the right wing corner. Semenko with it behind the net. He's checked there. Semenko's pass to Gretzky. Gretzky checked by Bonner. Gretzky tried to center it. Poked away by Lessard. Larry Murphy in the corner. He is bumped hard by Semenko. Murphy moves it along the board. Semenko checks him behind the King net. Puck is loose. Larry Murphy gets it over to Dave Lewis, and I think we may get a penalty to Larry Murphy now. And now Anderson swings his stick at Larry Murphy, I'll tell you, I haven't seen so much chippy stick work in a long time.
And really, it's on the part of both clubs. You can't blame the Oilers any more or any less than the Kings, because both clubs are very chippy right there. The tempers were flaring because Semenko is bumping everybody in a blue and gold jersey behind Mario Lessard. Larry Murphy is going to go to the penalty box along with Glenn Anderson. And, of course, as soon as anybody in the Oilers is threatened by one of the Kings, Semenko tries to come over to the aid. Well, now is the time to score on next year's Kings season seats, and priority ordering is now underway. You can be a part of Kings action in 8283. Just call 453-3571 weekdays for all the details. That's 453-3571 in the 213 area. Kings season seats still the hottest thing on ice. Larry Murphy getting 2 for roughing. Anderson is getting 2 for roughing and 2 for slashing. So both clubs will be shy a skater for 2 minutes. Then the Kings, barring further penalties, will have their second power play opportunity, and they trail with 12:41 left in period 1, 3-1.
Glenn Sather, the coach and general manager of the Oilers, watching and looking on as there's no doubt Anderson slashed at Larry Murphy. Gretzky out for the Oilers. He's got an assist in the game tonight as Siltanen scored the goal. Pass by Dion to Taylor. Taylor checked by Siltanen, but Taylor tips it in the Oilers zone, and right in front, Charlie Huddy lost it. Picked up by Dion. Dion, top of the slot, a hit to Taylor. He tipped it just wide. Puck to Taylor behind the net. Taylor gets help from Dion. Dion throws it out left point to Hardy. Right point, Chartraw moving in. He shoots, and save, and where's the puck? Fallen on, I guess, by Grant Fuhr.
Fuhr never saw that puck after the shot apparently hit somebody in front of him. Then it was lying to his left, and with help from his defenseman, he finally pounced on it for a face-off to his left. Shot taken by Rick Chartraw, and you can see Huddy in front with Dave Taylor. It looked like it hit Huddy's right leg, and then Fuhr, after a split second, spotted the puck to fall on it.
Grant Fuhr, 19-year-old goaltender, the only black goaltender ever in National Hockey League history. He has a chance to be Rookie of the Year. He lost only 5 games all year. Face off to the left of Fuhr, and they say he doesn't get rattled by giving up goals. He's given up 1 here. The Kings had a 1-1 tie, but the Oilers have come back with 2 quick goals to lead 3-1. We have 12:07 to go in the first period. Oilers with it. Here's Charlie Huddy up the center ice. Each team short a man. Huddy drives it into the Kings zone, and Chartraw back to get it. Chartraw checked by Lumley. Lumley took it away. Lumley in front. He shoots. Saved by Lessard. Puck is picked up by Messier behind the King net. He comes around the right side. Up the right side to Siltanen, and he shoots wide. He missed the right-hand corner. Puck comes off the boards. Oilers buzzing around again. Chartraw's lost his stick. Lessard's pass stolen by Lumley. Lumley's pass broken up by Dave Taylor. And now a penalty to Taylor coming up for roughing or boarding. Dave Taylor upset at Lumley. Chartraw had lost his stick, and the Oilers had a couple of good chances. And then as it came around to Taylor, he bumped with Lumley, and Taylor's going to get the penalty here. So Dave Taylor gets 2 minutes for roughing.
Dave did get in a couple of shots as he and Lumley met on the far board. So what this will do is delay the power play for the Kings. They will only get a 55-second power play once the penalties to Larry Murphy and Taylor expire.
This game is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Toyota brings you exciting Kings hockey, and they invite you to see and drive the Toyota Starlet, the first small wonder of the world today at your Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. Here's Siltanen, left point, back to the right side to Coffey. Coffey, Kings zone, sends it down the right side, a shot, and it is knocked away by Lessard. The shot by Gretzky. Gretzky in the corner. Overskates it there as he's bumped by Chartraw. Now to Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky waits there, pass up the middle, shot by Curry, blocked by the Kings, Dave Lewis. Back to Curry, shooting, stick save by Lessard, just got his blade on it. Puck comes out left point. Oilers with a power play, leading 3-1. Here's Gretzky, passing up the middle, shot by Coffey, fanned on it. Puck comes over to Yari Curry. Curry bumped along the boards and knocked down. Gretzky with it behind the net. Gretzky's pass, he gets it back, sends it up the middle, Siltanen scores! Wayne Gretzky gave it right up the middle to Risto Siltanen, and he shot right off the pass and beat Lessard. It's a power play goal, and it's now 4-1 Oilers.
And Siltanen beat Mario Lessard right between the pads as Lessard was moving out to try and quickly cut down the angle. Gretzky setting up Siltanen about 35 feet high in the slot. Risto Siltanen's second goal of the game. Gretzky with his second assist of the game. And Jari Kurri gets an assist, his second of the game. The power play goal at 9:02. And the Oilers have a 4-1 lead. They have 8 shots on goal, and 4 have gone in.
Now Danny Bonner with it to the Oiler line. Bonner down the left side. He's bumped there by Curry. Oilers pick it up. Gary LaRiviere sends it behind the net over to Coffey. 4-1, and we have 10:39 to go in the first period. Gretzky's on the ice. He's at the King line. Pass to Gretzky. He's all alone down the right side. He shoots. Saved by Lessard. Puck comes up the right side. Simmer gives it to Bonner. Bonner across the other line. Left wing. He shoots off the glove of the goaltender, Fuhr. Out to the right point. Sharptaw with it. He shoots. Tipped in front. Saved by Fuhr, and he covers up. Now LaRiviere and Bonner have words, and Taylor comes over to push at LaRiviere.
LaRiviere had poked the blade of his stick right towards Dan Bonner as Dan was cruising in front looking for the rebound.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings. Very little of that and a lot of chippiness out there, Bond.
That's right.
Part of both teams.
And the Kings playing very undisciplined hockey, especially around their goaltender, Mario Lessard. And that's been their problem in the last 3 weeks.
Oilers with it in their own end. Here's Mark Messier. Messier to center ice. Right wing pass in Kings zone. Pat Hughes shooting. Stick save by Lessard. Rebound up the middle to Bernie Nichols. Back from the Kings. Nichols gives it to Simmer. Simmer across the blue line. Oilers zone. Top of the slot. Simmer still with it. Simmer drops it back to Dion. Down the right side. He shoots. He's wide to the left side. Kings have the power play now for 1:14. Puck comes in deep. Simmer back behind the Oiler net. Tried to roll it out in front. Got it back again. Simmer still with it. Gives it in the right wing corner to Taylor. Oilers zone. Taylor along the boards. Taylor comes toward the blue line. Gives it to Marcel Dion on the right point. Slides it left side. Darrell Evans. His shot deflected and bounces wide of the net to the right side. Picked up by the Oilers and cleared to the blue line and out to center ice. Dion with it. He gives it to Darrell Evans. Evans pass underneath the stick of Nichols into the Oilers zone. Kevin Lowe takes it away. Lowe gives it to Charlie Huddy. Huddy up the center ice to Hunter. Here's Dave Hunter to the King line. Hunter shoots. Stick save by Lessard. Puck is picked up by Dion. 38 seconds to go in the King power play. 4-1 Oilers lead. We had 3 goals scored in the space of 36 seconds here. 1 by the Kings, 2 by the Oilers. Here's Dion with it. King zone. Dion headmans it up the center ice to Bernie Nichols. Nichols across the blue line. Nichols fakes the shot. Is poked away and cleared by Dave Hunter. 15 seconds to go in the Oiler penalty to Glenn Anderson. Here's Darrell Evans. Evans down the right wing into the Oiler zone. Evans, the rookie, along the boards. Evans into the corner. Bumped there by Coffey. Puck comes behind the net to Doug Smith. Smith on the ice for the first time. Over to Jimmy Fox. Fox, right wing. Oiler zone. Penalty's over. Oilers back at full strength. Larry Murphy shoots. Saved by Fuhr in his pads. Glenn Anderson picks it up. Headmans it up the center ice out of the reach of Gretzky. Puck comes into the King zone. Larry Murphy back to get it. He's bumped by Jari Kurri. Gretzky with it. Centers it. Shot saved by Lessard. Shot again by Kurri over the net. Gretzky in front to Anderson. Another save by Lessard. Puck taken by Anderson, right wing. His pass broken up by Jimmy Fox. Oh, did Gretzky put a couple of beautiful passes out in front of the King net. Here's Fox in the slot. He drops it to Larry Murphy. Murphy down the left side. Murphy in the corner. Oilers zone. He's bumped there. Murphy still with it. Pass out toward the left point. Doug Smith tried to hold it in. Couldn't do it. Oilers come back. Pass down the right side by Glenn Anderson. He didn't get it back again. Kings tip it in their own end, and Doug Smith back to get it. Gretzky on the ice for the Oilers. Here's Doug Smith to center ice. Smith into the Oilers zone. Smith down the right side, still with a bouncing puck. Now it's poked away. Lumley with it. His pass deflects off Jimmy Fox, taken by Paul Coffey for the Oilers. 7:43 to go, first period. 4-1 Oilers. Here's Coffey. He drives it into the King zone. Puck is back behind the King net. Back to pick it up there is Dave Lewis. Lewis's pass got right back to him from Bonner to Mike Murphy to Bonner on the right wing. He's with J.P. Keller. Bonner to center ice. Couldn't pull it around Gary LaRiviere. Puck is flipped back into the King zone. 7:19 left to go here in the first period. The Oilers have outshot the Kings 13-6. Long pass up the center ice. That was Siltanen instead of LaRiviere that poked it away for the Oilers at center ice. Here's Siltanen now along the boards, and we have a whistle. with 7:07 to go here in the first period. Puck was knocked out of the air with a high stick, and the faceoff will be in the neutral zone with the Kings down 4-1.
The goal
Passes in deep to Messier. He lets it go. Puck comes behind the net. Mark Hardy went for it, got knocked down. Puck taken by Marty Hodman. Around in front. A shot. Saved by Lassard as Messier picked up the loose puck right in front of Mario. And Lassard went down to the ice to make the stop. 6:14 left, first period. 4-1 Oilers. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
KHJ TV, Channel 9, your RKO General Station, Los Angeles.
Face off to the left of Mario Lassard. Something the Kings could not afford to do, Nick, was dig themselves a hole and try to play catch-up hockey with this team. You've got to get the lead and then play your disciplined type of game. But now the Kings have to open up a little bit and try to get back in it. And that's when the Oilers can take advantage. Here's Nichols at center ice. He drives it into the Oilers zone. The Riviere back behind the net. Bumped there by J.P. Kelly. Puck comes around. Semenko didn't clear it up the middle. Dave Lewis. Pass the front. Score! Tipped in by Jimmy Fox as he tipped in the pass from Dave Lewis. Semenko gave it away at the blue line, and the Kings converted into a goal. Jimmy Fox scores, and it's now the Oilers 4, the Kings 2.
Good play by veteran Dave Lewis. He saw Fox all alone in front, and instead of winding up for that hard slap shot, he just slowly slipped it along the ice, waited for Fox to deflect it. Fox deflected it right between the pads of Grant Fuhr, who had little chance to stop that one from about 10 feet in front of him. And for Fox's first playoff goal, it comes at 14:09.
Kings with it again. Fox across the line. He shoots over the net. Rebound to Bernie Nichols. Nichols into the right wing corner. Gives it to Fox in front. Fox spins. Goes in deep. Gets knocked down. Gives it to J.P. Kelly. Kelly in the Oilers zone. Kelly's pass broken up by the Oilers by Gretzky and passed out to center ice to Glenn Anderson. Tipped away by Jerry Korev. Picked up by Gretzky at center ice. Here's Gretzky. He slides the pass on the right side. Gary Curry tried to give it back. Intercepted by Bernie Nichols. Nichols up the center ice. He's bumped by Glenn Anderson. Puck goes to Korev. 60-footer and a glove save made by Grant Fuhr. Puck taken by Charlie Huddy. Huddy's pass around the boards. Oilers with it. Gretzky at his own blue line to Anderson. Anderson down the right side into the King zone. Cuts to the top of the slot. Anderson still with it. Anderson moving in. He shoots. Saved by Lassard. And he fell on the puck. Almost dribbled across the goal line, but Lassard fell down on it. 5 minutes exactly to go in the first period. Oilers 4, Kings 2. This game coming to you live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta. Mark C. Bloom, Southern California's leading tire dealer with over 50 stores to serve you. Mark C. Bloom, they take care of your car from the tires up.
Second Kings goal, 14:09. Jimmy Fox from Dave Lewis as Fox tipped in the pass shot from the Kings captain.
Now the Kings, Dean Hopkins clears to the center ice. Kings have Smith at center with Bozek and Hopkins on the wings. Hardy and Larry Murphy back. Passed by the Oilers. Dave Lumley into the King zone. Chased down by Bozek. Bozek back behind the King net. He leaves it for Larry Murphy. Kings moving left to right. Trailing 4-2. Here's Larry Murphy to center ice. Murphy comes to the Oiler line. Shoots it in. Grant Fuhr knocks it down with a glove. Then drives it behind the net. Puck comes over to Messier. Messier's pass stolen by Hopkins. Right wing corner. He sends it toward the side of the net. Poked away by Fogelin. Doug Smith goes for it. Smith passes up the middle. Larry Murphy off his skate. Taken by the Oilers. Here's Messier down the left wing to the King line. Messier wanted to pass and he fanned on it. And Larry Murphy picks it up. Murphy's pass ahead to Dean Hopkins. Hopkins gives it ahead at center ice to Doug Smith. Smith, the 18-year-old playing in his first NHL playoff game, fires it back behind the Oiler net. We have 4:07 to go here in this first period. Oilers 4-2 lead. Puck comes back toward the King line. Dave Lewis with it. Gives it at center ice to Dean Hopkins. Hopkins sweeps it into the Oilers zone, and Kevin Lowe back to pick it up. Lowe chased by Doug Smith. King sending one forward in now. The other two hanging back around the blue line. Puck comes to the King line. Offside pass called against the Oilers. With 3:48 left to go in the first period. 4-2 Edmonton. This game coming your way live on our simulcast from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey is being brought to you by McDonald's Restaurants of Southern California, a 1984 Olympic sponsor helping to make Olympic dreams come true.
Kings have Marcel Dion back out with Charlie Simmer and Dave Taylor. These three players struggled in the last 3 weeks of the regular season. But Don Perry hopes that with the rest they received over the past weekend, as the Kings played Vancouver twice, that they can pick up the pace here in this first-round series.
Dion out on the faceoff. He gets tied up by Laurie Boschman. Puck comes up to center ice. Taken by Charlie Simmer. Here's Simmer. He comes across the red line. Simmer passing down the left side. Dion in the other zone. Cuts around Siltanen. Gets knocked down by Siltanen. Dave Taylor knocks Siltanen down in the corner. Puck is picked up by Taylor. Taylor to Dion. Around in front. Dion tried to get it to Simmer. Broken up. Oilers with it. Back they come to center ice. Laurie Boschman to Pat Hughes. Hughes on the right wing. Drives it into the Kings zone. Lassard flips it off the boards. Oilers hold it in. Pass in front. Lassard lost it for a moment, and the shot is wide by Hughes. Lassard tried to get his glove on it, but it came loose, and then Pat Hughes of Edmonton shot it wide. Here's Taylor shooting just wide to left side of the Oiler net, and the puck cleared back into the Kings zone. This will be an icing call against Edmonton as the Kings' Mark Hardy gets back to touch it. 2:56 to go here in the first period. Oilers 4, Kings 2.
The greatest show on earth is coming this summer to the fabulous Forum. That's Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Returning to the Forum July 21st through August 4th. Don't miss this great family fun for all ages. Again, Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, July 21st through August 4th at the Forum. Tickets are on sale now.
Face off to the right of Grant Fuhr. At the end of this period, we're going to have a feature on the styles of these two goaltenders, Grant Fuhr of Edmonton and Mario Lassard of the Kings. Gary Dornhofer, former Philadelphia Flyer, will be discussing that along with Ron Lowe, the spare goaltender for the Oilers. I think you'll find it very interesting. Also an interview with Phil Sykes, the newest member of the Kings. He's not dressed for the game tonight. Puck comes into the Kings zone. Yari Curry, right wing boards. Curry gives it to Gretzky at the right point. Gretzky shovels it back to LeRiviere. His shot wide to the left side. Puck comes off the boards and cleared by Mike Murphy ahead to center ice to Darrell Evans. Evans has got Danny Bonner coming in. Evans gets knocked down by LeRiviere, who jumped underneath him and knocked him down. Back from the Oilers. Gretzky, left wing. Gretzky's pass, right side. Shot blocked by Hardy. Glenn Anderson with it. Sends it behind the net. Gretzky out in front. Shoots. Blocked in front. Gretzky gets bumped from behind by Korath. Puck taken by Yari Curry. Out to the right point. LeRiviere. His shot wide to the left. He's trying to get it to Glenn Anderson. Puck taken by the Kings. 3-on-2 to center ice. Here's Mike Murphy. Murphy into the Oilers zone. Tried to drop it to Bonner. He didn't get it. Puck is held in nicely by Darrell Evans at the blue line. Over to Mike Murphy in the right wing. He is grabbed there by Paul Coffey. And the puck comes out to center ice. 1:55 to go here in the first period. 4-2 in favor of the Oilers. Puck comes into the Oilers zone, and Kevin Lowe has it. Lowe chased back behind the net. Now waiting there. Puck comes up the right side. Fogelin sends it up to center ice. I don't know if that's a 137 or is that just 37 on the scoreboard. They've got what looks like a 1, but half the lights are out on it. Puck is back in the Oilers zone. It is a 1:28 left to go in the first period now. Puck is back behind the Oiler net, and Kevin Lowe with it. J.P. Kelly, Jimmy Fox, Bernie Nichols on for the Kings. Pass up to center ice, knocked down by Larry Murphy. Here's Murphy to the Oiler line. Murphy down the right side. Murphy still with it. His shot knocked away from in front. J.P. Kelly, he's checked along the boards. Puck comes to the Oilers. Messier, his pass to center ice. Taken by Lumley to Gretzky, left wing. He shoots, blocked in front. Gretzky with it again. Lassard gets back. Gretzky's pass blocked by Bernie Nichols. Nichols knocks Gretzky down in the corner of the Kings zone, and then Fox gets tripped by Gretzky. Here's a penalty to Gretzky for tripping. Gretzky got knocked down by Bernie Nichols, then reached out and tripped Jimmy Fox. And Gretzky goes to the penalty box for the second time in the first period.
Boy, you really know tempers are flaring when Wayne Gretzky gets 2 minors in the course of not only one game, but also one period earlier. He got 2 for slashing Dan Bonner at 1:19. So the Kings really, Bob, plenty of time left. Still in the hockey game, have to capitalize on these power plays now.
This game coming to you live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey is brought to you by Schlitz, the master brewer's brew. Just one taste and you'll know behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer. Schlitz.
Gretzky tripping 1905. Third power play for the Kings here in this first period.
Puck fired back behind the King net. Kings moving left to right. They enter the game with only 2 power play goals in their last 30, but they have a power play goal. One by Steve Bozek here tonight. Kings with it. Here's Dion to the other line, into the other zone, left side. Dion still with it. Back to Korath at the left point. Korath shoots, tipped just wide to the left side by Nichols. And the puck cleared by the Oilers. Kevin Lowe back into the Kings zone. 24 seconds left to go here in the first period. Kings are down 4-2. Be a big lift if they could get one here before this period ends. Oilers at center ice can't hold it. Pat Hughes overskates it. Charlie Simmer picks it up. He's got only 14 seconds left in the period. Here's Simmer to the Oiler line. Simmer down the left side with 10 seconds to go in front to Taylor. He shoots. He scores! Dave Taylor with 7 seconds to go in the first period scores a power play goal, and the Kings are back in the game. It's the Oilers 4, the Kings 3.
Boy, what a big goal right there. You mentioned it would be a great lift for the Kings to score before the period ended on the power play. Simmer to Taylor, and possibly Grant Fuhr was screened by his own defenseman, but just a great shot by Dave Taylor. He went up over the left shoulder stick side of Grant Fuhr. The goal at 19:53, the power play goal, Dave Taylor's first of the playoffs this season. Charlie Simmer will pick up his first point, and that will be the only assist. So it's a one-goal game again.
7 goals in the first period of a Stanley Cup playoff game. Puck is back behind the Oiler net now, and time runs out in the first period, but the Kings, after tying it at 1-1, falling behind 4-1, have come battling back and have narrowed the gap now at the end of one. It's the Oilers 4 and the Kings 3. We'll be back to
Well, at 6 minutes in from Steve Bozek tied it up. The Oilers came right back at 6:16. Ralston his first. That made it 2-1. 20 seconds after that, Siltanen of the Oilers made it 3-1. Siltanen again set up by Wayne Gretzky beautifully at 9:02 with the Oilers on the power play, made it 4-1. But the Kings kept plugging away, and at 14:09, Jimmy Fox deflected in Dave Lewis's combination pass shot to make it 4-2. And then with 7 seconds left in the period on the power play, Dave Taylor scoring, beating Grant Fuhr from 30 feet with Charlie Simmer assisting, and that's where we stand right now, 4-3 for the Oilers. Shots on goal, the Oilers with 17, the Kings with 11. Mario Lessard had 13 saves. Grant Fuhr had 8 saves, and that's for the Oilers. And again, not very good playoff hockey from either club in the opening 20 minutes. We mentioned the Kings were very undisciplined in the first half. They settled down, as did the hitting, the checking, and the chippiness. And the Kings are back into this hockey game. If you joined us just recently, Jay Wells is gone for the balance of this game, having incurred 22 minutes in penalties, 152 in. He got 2 for roughing, a misconduct, and a game misconduct. And right after that, Jerry Korab got a misconduct. So Jay Wells gone for the game, and the Kings are down to 5 defensemen for the balance of this first game of the series. Again, Dave Taylor scoring with 7 seconds left in the first period. That got the Kings to within 1, and the Kings really got back into this game after trailing 4-1. Jimmy Fox made it 4-2 again at 14:09 of period number 1. Dave Semenko blindly tried to clear the puck. He put it right on the stick of Dave Lewis. Lewis then spotted Fox alone in front, and Fox deflected it in past goaltender Grant Fuhr. For Jimmy Fox, his first playoff goal this season. Dave Lewis got the lone assist. Then Charlie Simmer set up Dave Taylor as the Kings scored 2 power play goals in that first period. And Taylor from Simmer at 19:53 got the Kings to within 1. Mario Lessard will set up and defend to our right here in period 2 as we describe the action. Mario, in 10 career playoff games, is 2-7 with 1 no decision, and his goals against is 4.56. Mario was a busy goaltender in that first period, faced 17 shots and allowed 4 goals. But really, again, like we've said for the past 2 or 3 weeks, the goaltenders for the Kings not getting much help around their goal crease area.
Other scores now. New York Islanders, the defending Stanley Cup champions, leading Pittsburgh in the second 7-1. The Rangers losing to Philadelphia. It's the Flyers 2, the Rangers 1. That game still going on. Montreal against Quebec, as Montreal now leads 5-0 in the second period. Boston has defeated Buffalo 3-1. Chicago and Minnesota tied 1-1 in the second. St. Louis and Winnipeg tied 2-2 in the second. No score, Calgary and Vancouver. Second period underway here. Puck is in the Kings zone. Oilers pass to the blue line, but it gets by Siltanen, chased down by the goaltender Fuhr, with Bernie Nichols coming up, and Fuhr passes up the center ice to Lumley. He's taken out of the play. J.P. Kelly with it. Kelly flips it into the Oilers zone. 4-3. Oilers lead as we start the second period. Here's Risto Siltanen, defenseman out of Finland. He sends it off on the left side to Charlie Huddy. Huddy gives it back on the right side to Matti Hagman. Hagman cutting in deep, centers it off to the left side, and Bernie Nichols clears it off the boards out to center ice. Siltanen covers up there. He gives it to Huddy. Huddy flips it down in the right wing corner of the Kings zone, and Lessard pokes away from Lumley. Puck held in by Hagman to Lumley. Up the middle to Messier, tipped away by Nichols. Messier with it again. Centers it, intercepted by Jerry Korab. Korab slaps it up to center ice and all the way down to the Oilers zone. This will be icing against the Kings as Fogelin gets back to touch it. 18:58 to go in the second period, and the Oilers lead the Kings 4-3.
Lee Fogelin, who was picked up by Edmonton when they joined the National Hockey League 3 years ago in the expansion draft from Buffalo, has not missed a game in the last 3 years. That is one record that Wayne Gretzky does not have and will never have, obviously. Fogelin has played in 80 games in each of the last 3 seasons. He is one of the elder statesmen on this club. On the back line, settled down some of the younger players like Lowe, Coffey, and Huddy.
Kings with it off the draw. Here's Dave Taylor with Simmer. Gives it to Simmer. He shoots wide to the right side. Rebound along the right wing boards, taken away by the Oilers. Gretzky ahead to center ice to Glenn Anderson. Anderson down the left side. Fogelin down the right. Anderson to Fogelin. He couldn't get the shot off. Now he does. Blocked. Gretzky with it. Sends it across in front of the crease. Broken up by Hardy. Ahead to Simmer. Here's Charlie Simmer across center ice. Left wing pass to Dion. Tipped away. Simmer with it. Left side. He shoots. Saved by Grant Fuhr. Good glove save. Puck is held by Fuhr. A little too long, perhaps. Now he flips it off the boards. Dion gets a shot blocked in front by Fogelin. Fogelin's pass tipped away by Simmer. Second period underway with the Oilers leading 4-3. 7 goals scored in the first period tonight. Here's Charlie Simmer. Clears it off the boards out to center ice. Referee is Ron Wicks. Puck taken by LaRiviere. To Curry. To Gretzky. Gretzky in the slot. Gretzky drop pass. Anderson shooting. Glove saved by Lessard. And he hangs on. And Glenn Anderson got dumped after the shot. Hey, look at that. A couple of pats on the back between Charlie Simmer and Jari Kurri.
Wayne Gretzky certainly draws a crowd. Hopkins and Chartrand both went over to Gretzky, who was cutting from his right to left as he hit the Kings zone. And then Gretzky just dropped it for Glenn Anderson, who whistled one from 40 feet. But Lessard, with a quick glove, made the save and held on. Both goaltenders here tonight, Bob, have extremely quick glove hands.
Crowd normally here 17,490, but they're selling standing room, so it's going to be a little larger than that here tonight. Off the face-off to the right of Lessard. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Korab back behind the King net. He comes up the left side. He clears it up to center ice. Puck taken at the Oiler line by Paul Coffey. He gives it to Gary LaRiviere. To Pat Hughes. Hughes to center ice. Drives it off the boards back behind the King net. Lessard cut it off there and then blocked Ralston out as the Kings pick it up. Pass up to center ice. Here's Doug Smith down the right wing with Bozek. Smith, Oilers zone, gives it in the middle now. Hopkins shooting, blocked in front. And the loose puck is centered in front as everybody looked for it. Now a pass. Hopkins gets knocked down, and the puck taken by Gary LaRiviere. Nobody knew for a second where the puck was. Here's Brett Callaghan down the left side. He drives it deep into the Kings zone. Korab back to get it. Korab gives it on the left wing to Bozek. Pass to the blue line, held in by Gary LaRiviere. LaRiviere's pass bounces right back to him. He brings it in the slot. LaRiviere, Kings zone. His pass bounces off Hopkins out to center ice. 17:05 to go. Second period. First of the best 3 out of 5 Stanley Cup playoff series between the Kings and the Oilers lead it 4-3. Kings clear it back to the Oiler line. Here's Risto Siltanen with it. Kings still have Bozek up front, but he comes off now, and Darrell Evans comes on. Smith steals it. He shoots. He scores. Doug Smith, the 18-year-old, stole the puck right in front of the Oiler net. Moved 2 strides to the right face-off circle and scores to tie the game at 4-4.
A great job of showing poise and patience by Doug Smith, who admitted earlier in the year that he wasn't comfortable in front of the opposing goaltenders. But right there, he drew the goaltender, Grant Fuhr, out before making his shot. He had a lot of the net once Fuhr went down. And Doug Smith ties the game at 4, so it's a brand new hockey game after a very poor start for the Kings here tonight. 4-4. Smith his first at .311.
Unassisted goal as he stole a puck. up to center ice. Here's Lumley, and we have an offside pass called against the Oilers. Well, I'll tell you, this is not an easy thing to do, Nick, against a team like the Oilers. We said it when the Kings were down 4-1 that you just can't get that far behind, but the Kings have just come back and done a great job of getting back in this game. It's tied 4-4.
And here in the second period, the first 3.5 minutes, the Kings have cleared their zone very well. Jerry Korab calming things down around Mario Lessard in Kings ice.
Now the Kings with it. Darrell Evans with a drive from the left wing. Save made. Puck is picked up by Mike Murphy behind the Oiler net. It rolls away from him over to Messier. Messier bumped out to the right point, held in by the Kings. Chartrand tries to give it to Darrell Evans. Evans down the left side, bumps Siltanen off. Evans with it. Pass in front to Mike Murphy. Couldn't tip it in. Murphy with it behind the net. Pass. Murphy gets it back up the left side. Fanning on it was Dave Lewis, and the puck is picked up by Monty Hogman for the Oilers. His pass to center ice taken away by Chartrand to Dan Bonner. Bonner tips it into the Oilers zone, broken up by Siltanen. His pass to Messier on the right wing. Messier taken out of the play by Dave Lewis. Puck is centered, picked up by Chartrand. Here's Chartrand up the center ice. 4-4 tie. Chartrand knocked down from behind by Monty Hogman. Puck taken by the Oilers. Stolen by Mike Murphy. His shot blocked, and Siltanen gives it to Huddy. Now the Oilers starting to play poorly in their own end. Pass to the King line. Jimmy Fox intercepts. Fox gives it now to Bonner. His pass to center ice, intercepted by the Oilers. Huddy drives it from center ice wide to the net. Rebound off the boards, picked up now by Hardy. He's chased by Gretzky behind the net. Hardy around the right side. Gives it on the right wing to Jimmy Fox. Fox to the Oiler line. Fox trying to get around Kevin Lowe. Fox goes in deep. Fox in the corner. Centers it. Out toward the left side. Held in by Bernie Nichols. His shot. Save in the glove of Pure. He drops it down for Kevin Lowe. Lowe's pass comes to the blue line. Gretzky has it. Here's Gretzky's pass on the right wing to Fogelin. Fogelin down the right side into the King zone. Trying to get around Nichols. Fogelin in deep. Centers it. Poked away. Left side. Lowe with it. His shot wide. Rebound off the boards, picked up by Gretzky. Gretzky had it poked away by Kelly. Puck is picked up in the King zone by Hardy. Now stolen by the Oilers. Gretzky with it. Right wing corner. Centering pass. Intercepted by the Kings. Bernie Nichols. Nichols headmans it up the center ice to Jimmy Fox. Fox with it. Down the right side. 3-on-2. Fox in the middle of Larry Murphy. Fans as he tried to shoot off the pass. Oilers with it. Back they come. Long pass to Gretzky. Left wing. Gretzky with Curry. Gretzky in the slot. Shoots. Saved by Lessard, and he covers up on it. And Korab gets dragged down from behind by Glenn Anderson. But boy, Lessard comes up with a big stop on Wayne Gretzky. 4-4 the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
His angle was being cut off by Korab, but he put a great move on Korab to get the shot away, and a good save by Lessard.
You know, that's what he does so well. He puts the brakes on just when you think he's going to keep going, and then he changes direction and gets loose for that shot. Now here's Dave Hunter down the right side. King zone. He's bumped by Chartrand. Puck is back behind the net, taken by Dion. 4-4 tie, second period. Dion to Taylor, to Korab. Here's Korab from center ice with a drive, and it goes up into the crowd. Not many King fans here among the crowd, although a lot of the Forum front office people are here, including the Kings owner, Dr. Jerry Buss, and his group. They're here watching the game. Lou Baumeister, the Forum president. And we have Irv Lapel, who lives in Westlake Village. He's here pulling for the Kings tonight. Wants to say hi to his kids. They're viewing the game back in Westlake Village. Nice to have all of you with us, and we hope that you'll be with us tomorrow night. Again, live at 6:20, same two teams. Saturday night, the series switches to Los Angeles. Pass to the King line, hit the back of Chartrand's skate. Oilers with it. 14 minutes to go in the second period. The Kings have battled from 4-1 down to tie it 4-4. Kings with it at center ice. Here's Taylor. Taylor into the Oilers zone, and we have an offside called on the play. Charlie Simmer astride offside.
Bob, we have two other finals in the first round action in the National Hockey League. Tonight is the first night of action. Montreal defeats Quebec 5-1. Montreal, of course, had the home ice in that series. And the Islanders, with the best overall record this year, have won their first game at home over Pittsburgh 8-2. Of course, earlier, Boston defeated Buffalo 3-1.
Face-off will be just outside the Oiler blue line. And on the draw, Doug Smith, who tied the game for the Kings, is out. Draw goes to the Oilers. Lumley bumped hard by Dave Lewis at center ice. Doug Smith picks it up. Smith rolls it in deep in the Oilers zone. Charlie Huddy with it. Back behind his own net. Bumped in the corner by Hopkins. Oilers zone. Hopkins and Huddy battle for it, and it's whistled dead against the boards. This game, with the score tied 4-4, is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by Longines, the world's most honored watch and official timekeeper of the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. Longines, very thin, very Swiss, quartz, of course.
Again, the Los Angeles Kings have never won a game here in Edmonton. In the 3 years the Oilers have been in the NHL, in 8 previous games, 4 ties and 4 losses. And this year, they had 3 losses and a tie. But it's a brand new game as the Kings have battled back tonight from a 4-1 deficit. We're tied at 4.
Oilers come to center ice. Huddy fires it back behind the King net. Mario Lessard cuts it off there as Lumley takes a run at Dave Lewis. Puck comes up to the Kings. At center ice, penalty against the Oilers. It's going to be a charging call, I think. Doug Smith rolls it in. There's a penalty against Edmonton as Grant Fuhr and Lumley took a run at Dave Lewis. Well, you get the impression here sometimes you can't check the Oilers. Lewis hit Lumley clean at center ice when he looked down to see the puck, and now Lumley takes a run at Lewis behind the net.
You know, Bob, something I think the Oilers have to be concerned with, and I'm sure Glenn Sather is right now, although I'm sure he won't admit it, is that the Oilers have a young club, and they've really never been in a position where they've had to win the game this year. They ran away with the Smythe division, so really they had no big games after the second half of the season began. So right now with a young club, they may be pressing, doing some of the things that they haven't been doing all year. Again, game 3, the Oilers and the Kings will be on Forum Ice. That is this Saturday, 7 p.m. And tickets are available. The Kings and Oilers for game 3, Saturday at the fabulous Forum.
Kings win the draw on the power play. Dion to the right point. Kings have 2 power play goals, and this is something they had to get moving, was that power play. Pass over to Taylor, right wing. He shoots, blocked by Kevin Lowe. Puck comes behind the net, knocked down by Nichols. Bernie Nichols, the King rookie, around the right wing boards. Nichols with it, gives it to Dion, down in the corner. Dion still with it, right face-off circle. Dion, his pass tipped up the middle, and the Oilers with it. Here's Gretzky, 6 short-handed goals on the year. Gretzky against Korab. He shoots wide to the right side with a blast. Puck comes to Fogelin. Fogelin holds it in, but it's taken by Korab. Korab passes behind the King net over to Dion. 1:23 to go in the King power play. They've got a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game. Here's Dion driving it into the Oilers zone, over to Charlie Simmer. Simmer behind the Oiler net. Simmer into the right wing corner, gives it back to Dion to the right point. Dion Oiler zone, spins away from Gretzky. Dion still with it. Dion top of the slot, gives it to Korab, left point. He shoots, tipped in front, but wide into the corner by Taylor. Puck is cleared, past Korab, back into the King zone. 1 minute left to go on the penalty to Dave Lumley of the Oilers. Gretzky comes in. Lessard waits for him to get in deep, then gives it to Darrell Evans. Evans, the King rookie, in the King zone, passes back to Dion. 49 seconds to go in the King power play. 4-4 tie, second period. Here's Bozak. Bozak didn't bring it in because Doug Smith would have been offside. Kings have changed their power play unit now. Here's Jimmy Fox at center ice. Fox with Smith and Bozak. Fox flips it down the right wing boards into the Oilers zone. Going for it there. Bozak along with Smith and Fox. The puck is loose. Driven out toward the left point. Darrell Evans can't get there in time. It comes back into the King zone. 23 seconds left to go now in the King power play. 11:40 to go, second period. 4-4 tie. At one point, the Kings trailed 4-1. Here's Larry Murphy, backhands it into the Oilers zone. Charlie Huddy chases it in with Bozak. Huddy's pass comes to the right point. Larry Murphy holds it in. Murphy, Oilers zone. Murphy still with it. Over to Jimmy Fox. Fox in front. Fox gives it to Hardy. His shot way wide. Penalty in front against the Oilers. A penalty against Charlie Huddy of the Oilers. And now we had Dave Hunter trying to get at Smith, and Hardy came over and bumped Hunter. The original penalty was against Huddy of the Oilers. He knocked one of the Kings down right in front of the Oiler net. And now some pushing and shoving behind the net as Larry Murphy is there, and now they're going to settle that down. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings. Hot front of the Oiler net, and he goes for charging. 4-4 tie. We'll pause right now 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
KHJ TV, Channel 9, your RKO General Station, Los Angeles.
Charlie Huddy knocked Bozak down in front of the net, and there was very little doubt about that penalty, and he goes in for charging with 11:20 left to go in the second period.
You know, Bob, it's been a complete turnaround. The Kings undisciplined in the first 10 minutes, and here in the second period, the Oilers are taking bad penalties. They're running around in their own zone, and the Kings have an opportunity with their 5th power play now in the game to take the lead for the first time. So we've really seen a reversal of forms in this contest with more than half the game left to be played.
Kevin Collins, one of the linesmen, came over to the bench to be treated for a little scratch that he had on his cheek. All right, the Kings with a chance to take the lead now. They've got the power play again. The Oilers have outshot the Kings 19-14, but the Kings got down 4-1, didn't panic, and have come back to tie it 4-4. Now they're having some question about the clock here now. Face-off will be to the right of Grant Fuhr when they get ready, and off they go. Dion with a draw to Simmer. Simmer pokes the blue line. Held in. No, taken away. Gretzky. Korab trying to get back. Gretzky down the left side. Gretzky goes in deep. Korab cuts him off. Gretzky's pass. Blue line. Kevin Lowe shooting. Stick save by Lassard. Boy, you got to watch him, Nick, every time he's out on the ice.
He stops on a dime and accelerates so quickly.
Here's Larry Murphy. He fires it into the Oilers zone. Puck comes along the left wing boards. Taken by Simmer. Simmer still with it. Down the left side. Kings with a goal can take the lead. Simmer to the blue line. To Korab at the left point. To the right point. To Larry Murphy. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Kings with it. Dion. He scores into the open net. The puck came over to Marcel Dion. He had a wide open net to shoot in. And the Kings lead 5-4.
And the Bluebirds are coming out here at the Northlands Coliseum. Larry Murphy started that sequence with a shot that was saved from right point, rebound to Fox, but he had it checked away, and Dion picked it up with Fuhr down and out, and the Kings have a 5-4 lead. Marcel Dion with his first goal of the playoffs. A scramble in front. Dion left all alone because the Kings had the power play. Kings 5, Oilers 4.
At one time, it was 4-1. Here's the pass. Kelly to Nichols. Nichols into the Oilers zone. He gets knocked down as the puck is taken by Dave Hunter. Now the Oilers with it. Rolston up to center ice. He's got a goal tonight. Rolston, the King line, checked by Chartreux. King defense has settled down, Nick. They're starting to take the body more now. Puck taken by J.P. Kelly. He clears it up to center ice. The assists on the goal, Larry Murphy and Fox. Puck back behind the Oiler net. Boy, when they got it over to Dion on the left side, he had all day, and the net was wide open. Oilers with it. Ralston's pass to the King line. Now it comes in deep in the corner. Picked up by Hardy. Hardy's pass along the boards. He's bumped by Hunter. Oilers hold it in. Left side. Coffey shooting wide. Rebound to LaRiviere at the right point. LaRiviere's pass broken up by Darrell Evans. Evans can't clear it. Yes, it comes off the glove of LaRiviere over the glass into the crowd. 5-4 Kings. Second period. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings.
Assist Larry Murphy and Taylor, not Fox. I think I said Fox when we were describing the scoring play, but it was Dave Taylor, so Dave picks up his second point here in the game. He had a goal earlier.
Boy, what a nice pass. Taylor got it over to Dion, and he was all alone. Now the puck up to center ice. Danny Bonner chases it down into the Oilers zone. Poked away by Monty Hogman. Picked up by the Oilers. Hunter to Lumley. Left wing pass to the King line. Broken up by Korab. He flips it back. 9:24 to go. Second period. Kings leading 5-4. The Kings have scored 4 straight. Puck taken by Lumley in the King zone. His pass taken away by Mike Murphy. Murphy checked by Messier, but the Kings third center ice. Here's Darrell Evans. Evans across the other line. His shot blocked by Siltanen. Nice defensive play by Siltanen. Now the Oilers going to get called for icing here as they drive at the length of the ice. Remember, the series will switch to Los Angeles this Saturday night. 7 o'clock game time. There are tickets available at the Forum box office and all Ticketron outlets. This game is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by Sears, and you can count on Sears for house paint that lasts. Sears house paints go through extensive and rigorous lab testing to guarantee satisfaction or your money back.
5-4 Kings. Don Perry looked for 3 things in this series. Power play work, hard work, and goaltending. So far, he's gotten all 3.
Gretzky on the ice. Larry Murphy takes it. Murphy drives it in the left wing corner. Oilers zone. It bounces off the boards to Simmer. His shot blocked in front. Loose puck. Taylor shoots. Blocked in front again. And cleared to center ice. Bounced over the stick of Hardy. Picked up by Larry Murphy. 5-4 Kings lead. Second period. Larry Murphy's pass. Intercepted by Fogelin for the Oilers. He sends it ahead to Glenn Anderson. Anderson gives it to Curry. Curry off the left side of Gretzky. Gets it back again now to Kevin Lowe. Lowe pumped there. Kings go for it. It is picked up by Simmer. Simmer on the left wing. Simmer's pass deflects off a skate back to the King line. Taken by Hardy to Taylor to Simmer, and he drives it back behind the Oiler net. 8:19 to go. Second period. 5-4 Kings. Long pass up the center ice. Gretzky cherry picking out there at center ice. Now the pass off the boards. Glenn Anderson into the King zone. He jumps around a check by Hopkins, and then Anderson's pass hit the side of the King net, and Lassard holds it there.
You know, we mentioned three things Don Perry wanted his club to do if he thought they would be successful. We mentioned the power play. They are 3 of 5 on the power play here tonight. Power play goals by Bozek, Taylor, and Dion. They're getting good goaltending, despite the fact that he has allowed 4. They were early in the game when the Kings were running all around Mario Lessard, and the club is working hard. They're coming back, picking up the Oilers at center ice.
Ron Muir is helping us tonight with our out-of-town scoreboard as usual, and a final at Montreal. Montreal beat Quebec 5-1. The Islanders beat Pittsburgh 8-2. Boston beat Buffalo 3-1. Other games still going, and we'll have all the scores and goal scores for you on our post-game show tonight. Oh, we got a great one here. The Kings have battled back from a 4-1 deficit to take a 5-4 lead. 2 Oilers collide behind the King net. Kings bringing to center ice. Bozek, left wing, cutting in front, he shoots, save, and it's cleared out of the front of the net by Coffey. Boy, that was close with a great move by Bozek. Puck taken by Hopkins. Hopkins in the Oilers zone to Bozek. He's bumped from behind, and the puck goes in against the boards. And Laurie Boschman grabs on to Bozek. Boy, Bozek with a nice burst of speed on that previous play, cut right in front of the net.
I tell you, the Oilers are getting a bit unraveled here in this second period. They only lost 5 games at home out of 40 all season long. And of course, they dominated the Kings here at the Northlands Coliseum. 3 wins and a tie, and they outscored the Kings by a wide margin twice here against the Kings. They scored 10 goals and 11 goals respectively. So the Oilers trying to get back some of the momentum by playing the man and throwing their weight around, especially in their own zone where they've really had problems here in the second period. Smith's goal, a blatant error on the part of the Kings, or rather the Oilers. And then Doug Smith, showing a lot of poise, tied it up at 3:11. And then at 9:17, Marcel Dion scored the 4th straight goal in the game for the Kings on the power play, with Larry Murphy and Dave Taylor assisting. So I think the Oilers are going to have to put it together here. They are going to be down 1-0 before they know it.
Now, there's one thing to remember. The last time in here, the Kings led 3-2 at the end of 2, and the Oilers exploded in the third period. They're a good third period team. Face off to the right of Grant Fuhr. Jimmy Fox comes in against Hughes, and off the draw, Fox gets tripped, nothing called. Puck comes out to center ice, and back to get it is Chartraw. Chartraw in the Kings zone. Passes up to center ice to Bernie Nichols. Nichols gives it to Fox. Nichols wrestled down at center ice. Puck comes into J.P. Kelly. Kelly in the corner. Centers it over to Fox, right side. His pass up the middle, but it comes out to center ice. I think he was thinking that Bernie Nichols was going to stay as the deep man there near the blue line, and Nichols came in deep. Puck is back on the Kings net. They give it away. Rolston's pass up the middle. Didn't connect, and it comes out to center ice. He was trying to get it to Brett Callaghan. Puck taken now by LaRiviere at center ice. Fires it back behind the King net. Chartraw with it. Chartraw bumps, gets it up to Jimmy Fox in the right wing. Kings come back 3-on-2. Here's Fox along with Nichols and Kelly. Fox down the right wing. Oilers zone. He gives it to Kelly. Kelly holds it in. Kelly down the right side. Delayed penalty. He shoots. Glove save. A penalty to the Oilers for high sticking. There's a penalty to the Oilers for high sticking, and the Kings will go on the power play again. The Kings lead 5-4. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings go on the power play for the 6th time tonight. 3 of their 5 goals have been on the man advantage. Hughes got his stick up on that 3-on-2 rush by the Kings. He's in the box at 13:06. So the Kings with another great opportunity to keep that string of goals alive. They've scored the last 4.
Now off the draw in the Oilers zone. Oilers with it. Siltanen drives it off the boards and out to center ice. Let's set the King power play for you. Dion and Larry Murphy, Korab. So now Dion, see where he's going to play. I think he's moved up front with Taylor and Simmer. Larry Murphy and Korab back, and the Kings give it away. Charlie Huddy for the Oilers clears it to center ice. Larry Murphy with it. Huddy steals it. Here's Huddy into the King zone. Left side. He shoots. He scores! For Charlie Huddy. The Kings just cannot allow that to happen.
Huddy just blasting one from the top of the left circle. He was being caught from behind, so he elected to shoot from about 30-35 feet. Beat Lessard cleanly. The unassisted goal ties the game at 5. He picked up the puck at the red line, went down left wing, and really rifled one in up high on Lassard. Unassisted for Huddy, his first playoff goal.
Kings still with a power play now. Pass taken away. Oilers, Huddy shoots. Blocked. Kings gave it away again. Puck taken now by Taylor. He stole the pass by Evans. Here's Dion. Oilers zone. Dion in the slot. He gets knocked down. Oilers clear. Back into the Kings zone. Siltanen cleared it. Messier goes for it. Lassard stick handles away. Look out now, and he pokes it around Lumley up to Bernie Nichols. 5-5 tie. Nichols pass off the boards into the Oilers zone. Fogelin can't clear it. It is held in at the blue line. Taken by Darrell Evans. Into Taylor. Taylor with Simmer. Taylor with it. Moving in. Taylor over to Dion. In front. He shoots. He scores. It went off the Oilers' Lee Fogelin. Dion made a move right in front of the net, and his shot hit defenseman Lee Fogelin and went into the net, and the Kings lead again. 6-5.
Second goal of the period, both on the power play for Marcel Dion. The shot appeared to be going wide, but it went off the leg of Lee Fogelin. Either that or Dion wanted to give it back to Dave Taylor, who had given Dion that beautiful pass in the slot. But nonetheless, the Kings, with their fourth power play goal in the game, now lead 6-5. Dion's second. Dave Taylor will get an assist, and for Dave, that will be his third point of the game. Darrell Evans, his second assist, and this is first ever NHL playoff game. The goal on the power play at 14-17.
Puck taken by the Kings. Chartraw, he gives it to Hopkins. 60-footer blocked. Hopkins goes for the rebound. Right side, it comes in front of the net and just cleared wide by LaRiviere. Oilers with it, trailing again 6-5. Gretzky's on the ice. He gets the pass at the King blue line. Gretzky, pass intercepted by Bozak right in front of Lassard. Mario stick handles with it. Now passes kept in by Gretzky. Gretzky's pass up the middle to Yari Curry. Broken up. Kings try to clear it, and they do. Bozak to Hopkins. Hopkins to the Oiler line. Hopkins down the right side. He's got Doug Smith with him. Hopkins holds it in. Gives it to Smith. All alone down the middle is Hardy. Smith to Hardy. He couldn't tip it in. Puck comes over to Evans. He scores! Darrell Evans from the left boards. Fired it over Grand Pure, and the Kings lead 7-5.
Well, it may not be playoff hockey, but the Kings are happy as heck right now. They lead 7-5. Evans, his third point of the game. What a thrill it must be for that youngster who was recalled just over a month ago. At the 15-minute mark, exactly 43 seconds after Dion's goal, Hardy had missed on a deflection on a beautiful pass in front by Doug Smith, but the puck came off the left wing boards to Evans, who just rifled it in up high, and right there the puck went in and out quickly like it did last week, but the light went on tonight.
I saw that one too. Here's Hughes and head down the middle. Hunter couldn't get a shot. Mike Murphy picks it up. Murphy with it. Good play on that last goal by the Kings by Hopkins. As Hardy came down the middle, he tried to give it to him. And then Darrell Evans with a great shot from the left wing board. 7-5 Kings at center ice. Here's Dave Hunter. He gives it to Tom Rolston. Rolston's pass down the right side. Hunter shooting, blocked. Looked like Hughes might have been offside on the play. Puck comes over now, left point. Charlie Huddy, he shoots, blocked by the Kings, out to center ice. Picked up now by Bonner, but Huddy ties him up. And the puck is kicked ahead, taken by Siltanen. 4:14 to go, second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon, and the Kings ahead 7-5. Puck comes back behind the King net, taken by Dave Lewis. He headmans it to Dan Bonner. Here's Bonner across the red line. Shoots it into the Oilers zone. Right side, puck comes up the middle. Siltanen with it. Throws it off the boards, up the center ice. Taken away by Hardy. Hardy with it. 3:52 to go, second period. 7-5 Kings lead, and boy, if Huddy didn't get that shorthanded goal, of course, you never know how things would go, but it might be 7-4 right now. Here's Gretzky across the King line. He fell down. Puck taken away by the Kings. 3-on-2. Puck goes to Hardy. Right side, moving in. Hardy behind the net. Hardy still with it. Comes around the left side. Hardy in the corner. Oilers zone. Up the middle. Kelly with it. Shoots. Blocked. Loose puck. Kelly again with it. Cleared into the corner. Puck is still in the Oilers zone. 3:22 to go, second period. Oilers with it. Gretzky, right wing, tips it into the Kings zone. He's checked in the corner by Mark Hardy, and the puck taken by the Kings. Cleared off the boards, but out to the right point. Fogelin couldn't hold it in. It comes all the way back to the Oiler line. 3:06 to go, second period. 7-5 Kings, and at one point they were down 4-1. Puck taken by Fogelin for the Oilers. Up to center ice to Lumley. Lumley across the King line, drops it back. Gretzky back to Lumley in front. Tipped away by Lassard. Picked up by Messier. To Gretzky. Pass over to Lumley off his stick on the right wing. Lumley to the right point to Riviere. His shot broke his stick. Loose puck in front. Backhander hit the goal post by Gretzky. Gretzky again in front. Score by Lumley. Nice play by Gretzky, Nick. He stayed right with it after he hit the goal post and gave it to Lumley alone in front of the net.
That's right. Gretzky missed on a backhander from 20 feet, but hustled after his own rebound. Gave it to Lumley all alone in front. No chance for Lassard. And it's a one-goal game again. The Kings leading 7-6. We had 7 goals in period 1. We have had 6 goals here in this second period. First playoff goal for Dave Lumley. The goal at 17:22 here in the second period. Gretzky will get an assist, his 3rd assist of the game. And LaRiviere gets his first assist of the game.
Now the puck fired into the Kings zone. Comes to Dave Taylor. Doesn't clear it. Coffey shooting. Tipped by Korab away from the net. Picked up by Simmers. Simmers pass over to Dion. Kings have the Triple Crown line on. Puck is in the Kings zone. 2:18 to go. Second period. Here comes Taylor. Taylor down the right side. Oilers zone. Taylor cutting in. Taylor in the corner now. Checked by Coffey. And the puck is held against the boards and whistled dead there. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings.
From behind the net off Hopkins' stick, and Korab let the low drive go, but Fuhr saw it all the way.
This game coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Mark C. Bloom, Southern California's leading tire dealer, with over 50 stores to serve you. Mark C. Bloom, they take care of your car from the tires up. Face off to the right of Grant Fuhr. 7-6 Kings lead. 1:48 to go, second period. The goals seesawing back and forth, though the Kings down 4-1 at one time, scored 4 straight. Ralston wins the draw. Back to Kevin Lowe. Lowe behind the Oiler net, gives it to Ralston. Oilers skating left to right. Now they're trying to get the late goal in the period to tie it. Pass ahead to Ralston down the left wing. King zone in front. Saved by Lassard. Loose puck. He covers up on it as Dave Hunter got a shot. And now Chartraw pushes Hunter out from in front of Lassard.
Well, I thought things had calmed down, but right there the intensity is shown on the part of both Rick Chartraw and Dave Hunter. Hunter is an aggressive forward for the Oilers, one of 3 Hunter-playing brothers in the National Hockey League, and I don't think Ron Wicks is going to call any penalties. Exciting team tennis with the LA Strings returns to the Forum this summer. See the best in tennis in 7 exciting matches starting July 6th. For more information on exciting team tennis, call 419-3257 weekdays. That's 419-3257 and score with the LA Strings. This game, much like a tennis match, going back and forth.
And the game coming your way live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta. Great performers at every position. You'll find them at your Toyota dealer. From the sporty Celica to the rugged SR5 sports truck. Just one drive will tell you what a feeling it is to drive a Toyota. 1:32 left, second period. Bob Miller here along with Nick Nixon, and the Kings battled from behind, and they lead 7-6 over Edmonton. Face off to the right of Lassard. Bernie Nichols on the draw, and off the draw, Messier gets a shot wide. Fogelin, right point, his drive blocked by Korab. Puck bounces out to center ice, chased down by Nichols. Nichols comes across the red line. Nichols still with it, rolls it into the Oilers zone, but he was being checked by Fogelin, and Lowe has it. Here's Lowe, his pass out to center ice. Chartraw has it. Chartraw and Korab are back on defense. Gretzky out for the Oilers. Pass broken up by Lowe. Lowe ahead to Messier. He gives it to Gretzky. Offside, Oilers.
Boy, I don't know why they're yelling right there. Messier had the puck knocked off his stick, came outside the blue line a good 3 feet, and Gretzky carried it back in with Messier trapped. Tell you, Wayne Gretzky, he's great, no doubt about it, but the officials will be the first of anybody to tell you that they don't appreciate some of the comments he makes during the course of a game out there on the ice. He has a very short fuse.
Oilers 25 shots, Kings 21. This game coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by Republic Airlines, the official airline of the Kings. Nobody serves our Republic like Republic Airlines.
Ron Wicks back over at the scorer's table, and like late in the first period. They're looking at the clock, and I think they just want to make sure that there is 1:07 and not 7 seconds left in the period. A few bulbs are out when a 1 is put up on the minute side on that scoreboard.
Off the draw, the puck back behind the King net. 7-6 Kings. 13 goals in this game, and we're just coming to the end of the second period. 1 minute to go in the second period. Pass ahead to Dan Bonner. Bonner's pass over to Evans. Offside Kings, and that was just by a stride, too, at the blue line.
Right.
Again, a reminder, Saturday night, these same two teams at the fabulous Forum, and there are tickets available, Forum Box Office and Ticketron. And again, a reminder, I think you'll know it by now, where the game's coming to you from, but we'll tell you again, from the Northlands Coliseum. Now let's hang on a second here. Puck fired by Larry Murphy into the Oilers zone. Fogelin with it. His pass deflects at the blue line out to center ice. Picked up now by Messier. He's got Gretzky as the trailer. Messier down the left side trying to get around Larry Murphy. No, Murphy pokes it away, gives it to Mike Murphy. He clears at the length of the ice. He's going to be on target, and Grant Fuhr stops it. 30 seconds left to go, second period. Kings ahead 7-6. Kings with it. Dave Lewis, Oilers zone. Lewis in the slot. Back in front to Bonner. He shoots. Save, rebound, score by Darrell Evans. His second goal of the game. It comes with 24 seconds left in the second period. And the Kings lead 8-6.
Darrell Evans, 4 points tonight. 2 goals and 2 assists. Right there, he was in the right place at the right time. Bonner got by Lumley, moved in for a shot. The save was made, but to pick up the rebound was Darrell Evans, and he put it in high over the fallen goaltender Grant Fuhr. And the Kings have a 2-goal lead for the second time in the game. They lead 8-6. That is the most goals by a Kings club in any one playoff game in their 15-year history.
Lewis did a nice job holding that puck in. Now, 8-6 Kings. Puck fired into the King zone. Hardy with it. At the end of this period, we'll have a feature with Brian Trottier of the Islanders as Nick talks to him about the possibility of the Islanders winning 3 straight Stanley Cups. Here's Coffey with it. Time's going to run out. 3 seconds to go in the second period. 1 second, and that's it. And the Los Angeles Kings lead the Edmonton Oilers at the end of 2 periods here, with the unlikely playoff score of the Kings. Already set 2 club playoff records. Most goals in a period, 5. Most goals in one game, 8. And in that period, the first goal was by Doug Smith in the second period. He tied the game at 4-4, unassisted goal. Nice play. He stole the puck right in front of the Oiler net. He took it away from Siltanen, and the 18-year-old #1 draft choice tied the game at 4-4. Then the Kings, after Doug Smith had scored his first playoff goal ever, took the lead finally, Nick. After being down 4-1, they led 5-4, and again, the power play came through for them.
That's right. Of the 8 Kings goals, 4 have been in the power play tonight. Dion at 9:17 with his first of the game. Larry Murphy and Dave Taylor picked up the assist. Just a great passing play. Dave Taylor in front, carried it across to Marcel Dion. Dion was all alone, and all Marcel had to do was slide it in. Larry Murphy originating the shot from right point. Simmer being tied up in front by Fogelin, so I think that also hampered the style of Grant Fuhr to get good position, but nonetheless a good play by Larry Murphy, Taylor, and eventually Dion putting it in.
Well, then one, the Kings couldn't afford to give up a shorthanded goal by a defenseman, Charlie Huddy. He's not going to set any scoring records, but he takes the puck. The Kings had trouble with it. He came down the left wing, and while being partially hooked from behind, he drove one past the glove of Lassard. That was a tough one to give up. A short-handed goal by Charlie Huddy, unassisted at 13:30, and that tied the game again at 5-5. But the Kings still had the man advantage after Huddy had scored the short-handed goal, and they came through again with another power play goal, and again it was Marcel Dion from Taylor and Evans, and Dion got a little help this time from Oiler defenseman Lee Fogelin.
That's right. The play was along the boards. It was worked free, taken by Dion, back to Taylor, then back to Dion, and Marcel put it in off the leg of defenseman Lee Fogelin, as you mentioned. Dave Taylor moving to the right of Fuhr, gave it back to Marcel, and it looked like the shot may have been going wide. Either that or Marcel wanted to give it back to Dave Taylor, who was cutting in behind everybody, but it did go off the leg of Fogelin into the net, and the Kings regained the lead at 6-5 right there.
Then another King rookie, Darrell Evans, scored his first ever from Hopkins and Smith at 15 minutes. The Kings led 7-5. Lumley came back for the Oilers from Gretzky and LaRiviere. That made it 7-6. And Darrell Evans again for the Kings. His second goal of the period from Bonner and Lewis, as that came late in the period, and the Kings lead 8-6 with 1 period left. We'll be back with the third period in 2 minutes. This is
lead after 2 periods. Second period scoring. Smith ties it at 4 unassisted, his first at 3:11. Dion on the power play at 9:17. His first from Larry Murphy and Taylor gives the Kings their first lead at 5-4. Shorthanded, Charlie Huddy unassisted, his first at 13:30, ties it at 5. Kings come right back. Dion, his second power play goal of the period and of the game. 14-17 from Taylor and Evans made it 6-5. Evans, his first from Hopkins and Smith at 15 minutes, made it 7-5. Lumley at 17:22 from Gretzky and LaRiviere made it 7-6. And at 19:36, Evans, his second, fourth point from Bonner and Lewis, made it 8-6 Kings. Shots on goal, 13-8 Kings. In the second period, 2 period totals, Oilers 25 and the Kings with 24. And as we enter this third period, an interesting statistic: the Oilers outscored the Kings 23-7 in the third period this year in 8 games. And the Kings, however, have yet to lose a game when they enter period 3 leading by 2 or more goals.
All right, Oilers drive it into the Kings zone. Puck comes down along the right wing boards, poked by Lassard, out toward the left side, taken now by Bozak. Up to center ice with Hopkins. Bozak cuts across the Oiler line, offside. Hopkins on the left wing. In Minnesota tonight, Chicago and Minnesota now in overtime. The Blackhawks 2 and the North Stars 2. Finals: Boston beat Buffalo 3-1. Montreal beat Quebec 5-1. Philadelphia beat the Rangers in Madison Square Garden 4-1. And the Islanders beat Pittsburgh 8-2. Puck taken by the Oilers. Tipped up to center ice by Lumley, taken away, and Smith drives it back into the Oilers zone for the Kings. Third period just underway. The Kings ahead 8-6. Pass up to center ice, out of the reach of everybody. Comes in deep. It would be icing, but the Kings are going to have to play it. Lassard pokes it away from Messier. Puck is taken now by the Kings. Bozak ahead to Hopkins. Hopkins for the Kings to the Oiler line. Hopkins tried to get down the middle, couldn't get around Charlie Huddy. Oilers with it. Up to center ice they come. Here's Dave Lumley down the left wing. Lumley cutting in, centers it to Marty Hogman. He's bumped from behind. Puck taken away by the Kings' Dean Hopkins. Hopkins slides it over to J.P. Kelly. Kelly down the right side into the Oilers zone. Kelly trying to go in deep around Coffey. Coffey checks Kelly into the boards, and the puck taken by the Oilers' Glenn Anderson. 8-6 Kings, third period. Puck taken at center ice by Anderson. Anderson down the right side into the King zone, trying to go in deep around Hardy. Anderson behind the King net. Anderson in the left wing side. Anderson still with it to the blue line. Shot by Coffey. Hit the goal post and deflected up into the crowd. Oh, hit the bottom of the right goal post.
Paul Coffey letting that shot go from left point. He led all NHL defensemen this year in scoring points, including 29 goals. But as you mentioned, help from the goal post to the right of Mario Lassard. A final from Minnesota in overtime. The Blackhawks 3, the North Stars 2. So as it stands right now, a few surprises tonight in the opening night of the 1982 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Face-off outside the King line. Here it's 8-6, the Kings leading. And if you joined us late, at one time the Oilers led 4-1. Ready to go on the draw. Bernie Nichols against Wayne Gretzky. Puck taken by the Oilers. Here's Gary LaRiviere at center ice. 17,490 the attendance. They did not add any standing room, apparently. Puck taken by Nichols for the Kings ahead to Jimmy Fox. Fox to center ice. Fox flips it into the Oilers zone. Chased down by J.P. Kelly. The goaltender, Grant Fuhrer, puts it off in the left wing corner. And the puck frozen there against the boards. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings in the Oilers zone. The puck comes off to Gary LaRiviere. LaRiviere for the Oilers sends it up to Coffey, now to Glenn Anderson. Here's Anderson across the red line, a dangerous skater and shooter. He is bumped hard and knocked down by Mark Hardy. Fans on the penalty. Kings give it away. Simmer to Gretzky in front to Curry. His shot went wide. He was checked from behind by Taylor. Simmer picks it up. Simmer, right wing corner, Kings zone. Simmer to Taylor. Gretzky's behind the net. Curry trying to dig it out, and Taylor gets knocked down on it. And then as Simmer got knocked down, it looked like Dave's leg was bent at an awkward angle, but I think he's all right.
That sequence, Bob, began when Mark Hardy upended Glenn Anderson as Hardy played the man very well. Fans wanted a penalty on Mark Hardy because it looked like he may have got the stick up, but that is the classic way to play defense. Play the man, don't worry about the puck. And it was picked up as Anderson went to the ice by the Kings, but then they gave it right to Gretzky, who tried to set up Yari Curry. Obviously, the next goal will be a big one. If the Kings get it, they're up by 3. If the Oilers get it, it's a 1-goal game.
Gretzky out against Bonner. Do you think Gretzky will play a little bit this period? At the right point, LaRiviere into Gretzky, King zone. He didn't get it. Comes back behind the King net, taken by Jerry Korab. Here's Korab's pass up in the air, up to center ice. It bounces past LaRiviere, and the goaltender Grant Fuhr drives it off the glass out to center ice. Kings Mike Murphy tries to get it. Oilers with it down the left side. Anderson moving in. Korab sliding. Anderson behind the net. Anderson around in front. Tipped away by Lassard over to Mike Murphy. Oh, was that dangerous. Korab had gone down to the ice and was hopelessly out of control as Anderson cut around him. Now at center ice, we have a whistle on an offside pass, apparently, called against the Oilers. Let's see. Now Wicks skating backward. No, I guess he didn't call. I thought for a moment he may have called a penalty. This game is coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by McDonald's Restaurants of Southern California, a 1984 Olympic sponsor helping to make Olympic dreams come true. McDonald's.
Quickly, the goal scorers for the Kings: Dion with a pair, Evans with a pair, Smith, Taylor, Fox, and Bozak each with 1.
Oilers with it. They faced it off at center ice. It may have been knocked down with a high stick. I didn't see the signal, Nick. Here is Larry Murphy for the Kings from center ice. He drives it off Kevin Lowe's body back behind the Oiler net. Oilers moving from right to left. We're in the third period. 16:55 to go in the period. Pass up to center ice. Korab slaps it right back to the Oiler line. Taken there by Lowe. And his pass ahead to the King line. Larry Murphy intercepts. Gives it to Korab. He drives it to Simmer at center ice. Simmer's pass over to Dion. Dion to the Oiler line. Shoots it in deep into the Oiler zone. 8-6, Kings lead. Pass up to Pat Hughes for the Oilers. He gives it to Dave Hunter. Hunter to the King line. Down the right side against Dave Lewis. Lewis bumps Hunter. Pass into Rolston. He's bumped by Chartraw behind the King net. Chartraw tried to dig it out. Rolston takes it. Rolston still with it. Rolston comes around the left side. His pass tipped up in the air by Taylor, and Taylor clears it to center ice. And a whistle. And again, I don't really know why. But they're going to face it off to the right of Lassard in the Kings zone.
Well, Bob, now's the time to score on next year's Kings season seats, and priority ordering is now underway. And you can be a part of Kings action in 8283. Call 453-3571 weekdays for all the details. 453-3571 in the 213 area. Kings season seats, still the hottest thing on ice. And a reminder, Game 3 of the series at the Fabulous Forum. Saturday night, 7 o'clock face-off.
Face off to the right of Mario Lassard. Marty Hogman facing off against Doug Smith. Boy, the King rookies have played well tonight, Nick.
They certainly have. And, of course, Doug Smith with a goal. Darrell Evans with 2 goals. So the rookies are contributing as well.
Now it's flipped off the boards ahead into the Oilers zone. And Doug Smith goes back to get it. Lost his stick as Siltanen takes it away. He gives it to Messier. Here's Messier for the Oilers. Messier to the King line. Messier shoots wide to the left side. Rebound to Marty Hogman. Hogman drives it around the boards. It comes to the right point. Siltanen holds it in. He drives it behind the King net to Hogman. Marty Hogman with it. Pass in front. Tipped away over to Dave Lewis. Lewis for the Kings ahead to Bozak. He clears it to center ice. Chased down by Lumley. Jay Wells was given a game misconduct early in the game here, so of course he has not been back. Oilers roll it into the King zone. Dave Lewis drops it on the right wing to Dean Hopkins. Hopkins passes up the center ice to Bozak. It went behind him. It comes to the Oiler line. Siltanen breaks it up. His pass taken away by Doug Smith. Smith's pass goes to Bozak, but an offside called with 15:27 to go in the game, and the Kings lead 8-6.
You mentioned the rookies. Evans with 2 goals. Smith with 1 goal. Another rookie, Steve Bozak, got the Kings' first of the 8 goals at the 6-minute mark of period number 1. So the rookies have accounted for 4 of the 8 goals here tonight. The veterans with the other 4.
Gretzky out for the Oilers. LaRiviere. LaRiviere in deep. Bumped by Larry Murphy. Puck comes around to Gretzky. Right wing corner. He tried to give it back to LaRiviere. Larry Murphy gets knocked down on the puck and covers up. And the fans thought it may have been questionable whether he got knocked down on it or fell deliberately on top of the puck. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Sard. Bonner against Gretzky. And Darrell Evans jumps too quickly. He'll get back into position. And the draw taken by Bonner over to Hardy. Hardy ahead to center ice to Evans. Evans tips it across the red line. Now gets it right back from LaRiviere to Mike Murphy. Murphy, Oilers zone. Throws it down the right wing corner. Dan Bonner with it. Bonner tips it behind the net. Bonner still with it. Out in front. Evans, he fanned on it. He tried to shoot right off the pass. Back from the Oilers. Up to center ice. Kings leading 8-6. Puck taken and poke checked away now from Gary Curry, and the Kings clear it to center ice.
Boy, the forwards are continuing to work very hard and coming back to help out the defense.
Here's Gretzky at the red line. Nice pass down the middle. Glenn Anderson just bumped in time by Hardy. Puck held in by the Oilers. Dan Bonner takes it away. His pass stolen by Gretzky. Left side, Gretzky's pass. Blocked. He tried to center in front again. Poked in the corner by Lassard. Glenn Anderson with it for the Oilers. Anderson, left wing side. He gives it away. Gave it right to Hardy. Hardy in the King zone. Kings moving left to right. Here's Hardy coming up across the King blue line. His pass off the boards comes deep into the Oilers zone. We're going to get an icing call here against the Kings as Gary LaRiviere touches the puck. 13:25 to go in the game. Kings 8, Edmonton Oilers 6.
You're wondering what the odds are of winning the Stanley Cup. Of course, 16 teams qualify for the playoffs. But get this, in the last 40 years, there have only been 7 different teams that have come away as winners of the Stanley Cup. Montreal leading the way with 18 cup titles. Toronto with 10, Detroit 5, and Philadelphia, Boston, the Islanders, each with 2, and Chicago with 1. So the odds are really against a lot of teams.
Face off to the right of Lassard. Dion out now and wins the draw from Rolston to Korab. Korab pass held in. Right point by Hughes. He shoots. Saved by Lassard. Nice pad save. Puck taken by Dave Taylor. Taylor pokes it out to center ice. At Vancouver tonight in the second period. Vancouver leading Calgary 2-1. Here's Dion at the red line for the Kings. Dion's pass into the Oilers zone. Out of the reach there of Dave Taylor. And Simmer gets knocked down. Oilers come back to center ice. Into the King zone, trying to get down the middle is Huddy. He gets bumped and knocked down by Lewis and Korab. Oilers hold it in. Korab goes for it. Back behind the King net. Throws it up on the boards, and it caroms out to center ice. 12:46 to go in the game. Kings 8, Oilers 6. Oilers give it away again. Right in front of the Oilers bench. Taylor passes into the Oilers zone. Picked up there by Dave Hunter. Here's Hunter for Edmonton across the King line. Passes right side. Fogelman. He shoots wide to the left side. And the rebound comes out to center ice. Taken by Kevin Lowe. Lowe with Doug Smith on him. Lowe gives it at center ice to Hunter. Now back to Lowe at the Oiler line. His pass intercepted by the Kings. Mark Hardy. Hardy bounces it off the boards to Doug Smith. Smith bumped by Hughes. Puck is at the King line. Picked up by Hopkins. Here's Hopkins to the Oiler line. Down the left side. He rolls it in deep back behind the Oiler net. 12:09 to go in the game. 8-6 Kings. Pass up to center right. Chartrand tried to hold it in, but as he did, the Kings are offside in the play. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Playoffs have won tonight. St. Louis 4, Winnipeg 3. That's the final. That game, of course, in Winnipeg.
Puck taken by Charlie Huddy. Oilers zone. His pass along the boards. Dean Hopkins has it. Hopkins in deep. Hopkins behind the Oiler net. Hopkins still with it. Passes up the middle, but it's intercepted by Lumley. Lumley gives it on the left wing to Messier. Messier, King zone. Chartrand getting back. Saved by Lassard. Rebound up the middle. Poked away by Lassard. Messier with it again. Centers it. Off the stick of Monty Hogman on the right side. He drives it back along the boards, and Dean Hopkins has it. Hopkins for the Kings. Brings it up in front of the King bench. Gets knocked down by Messier. Chartrand with it. Chartrand fires it into the Oilers zone. 11:30 to go in the game. Kings 8, Oilers 6. Puck is in the right wing corner. Dug out by Jimmy Fox, Oilers zone. Up the middle, Larry Murphy in front. Murphy shoots. Saved by Fuhr. Murphy with it again. Goes behind the net. Murphy still with it. Passed in front. Loose puck taken by the Oilers. Oh, Larry Murphy had all day. Put some moves on and couldn't score. Here's Bernie Nichols. He had it for a moment. Taken away by the Oilers. Monty Hogman. Ahead now to Messier. King zone. Ahead down the middle of Lumley. Loose puck. Larry Murphy. Oh, he reached out and pulled it in.
Boy, the fans are booing. Of course, I'm sure they've seen it all season long, just like we have at the Fabulous Forum. But the penalty in the rule book states you cannot gather the puck in with your arms, your stick, your legs to cover up, but they continue to let everybody get away with it.
Boy, at the other end, Larry Murphy had all day, made some moves, and tried to go to his backhand, and Grant Fuhr tipped it away. What a big goal that would have been, Nick, had he scored it.
We mentioned the next goal, if there is one scored, will be a big one. The Kings would lead by 3 if they get it. The Oilers back to within 1 if they get it.
Gretzky facing off with Bonner. Bonner wins the draw to Larry Murphy. Behind the King net to Korab. Kings moving left to right. Korab headmans it to Bonner. Bonner to center ice across the red line. Shoots it into the Oilers zone. Coffey back to get it. He passes off the boards. Oilers with it. Back they come to center ice. 8-6 Kings. Here's Gretzky against Korab. Gretzky going in deep. Korab took it away and then sent it right toward Lassard, and he falls on it and hangs on for the faceoff. I was reading about other defensemen. I think it was Bobby Orr talking about playing Gretzky, and he said, you know, you can't charge at him or he's going to make a fool out of you, and so defensemen, rather than be made a fool of, give him a lot of room, and that's where he gets his chances to score goals. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
KHJ TV, Channel 9, your RKO General Station, Los Angeles.
Off the draw, Kings win it. Bonner to Darrell Evans. He's got 2 goals tonight. Evans shoots it into the Oilers zone, and Grant Fuhr, the goaltender, stops it, gets it to Coffey. Coffey drives it off the boards out to center ice. Here's Gretzky at the red line. Puck taken by Chartrand. Chartrand flips it in, but the Kings are offside on the play.
Bob, Doug Keens down in the Kings bench is holding an ice pack to the back of his head. Doug, of course, the backup goaltender. I don't know whether he got clipped with a puck as it went off the boards onto the Kings bench. I can't remember tonight that has happened, or quite possibly he got hit with an object thrown from the crowd behind the Kings bench, but he has been holding that ice pack on the back of his head for the last 5 minutes.
Oilers with it, center ice, 8-6 Kings lead. Paul Coffey fires it into the Kings zone, and Lassard given away behind the net. Anderson didn't get a shot in front, and the puck comes out to center ice. Now the Kings just can't get careless like that again. Glenn Anderson just couldn't get his stick blade on it right in front of the King net. Puck is back in the Oilers zone. Glenn Anderson with it now. He gives it to the blue line, and Chartrand couldn't catch up in time to hold it in. Chartrand tried to wait for Bonner to get onside, and he did. Now he drives it back behind the Oiler net. 9:53 to go in the game. 8-6 Kings. Here's Glenn Anderson. Anderson down the right side to Gretzky. Gretzky over to Curry. His shot deflects off a body. Anderson, left wing corner. Anderson sends it in front. Shot, score! Oilers! Wayne Gretzky. The pass came to Gretzky on the right side, and he flipped it up over Lassard. His first playoff goal this year, 93rd goal this season.
His 4th point of the game. He has a goal and 3 assists. The goal comes at 10:20 here in the 3rd period, and these 2 teams have tied an NHL record for most goals in one playoff game at 15. Last time it was done April 9th of '81 when the North Stars beat Boston 9-6.
All right, now 8-7, Kings by 1. Oilers with new life. Here's Messier at center ice. Fires it back behind the King net. Larry Murphy with it. Passing ahead to Bernie Nichols. Nichols to center ice. He's got J.P. Kelly in the left wing, and it's tipped at center ice by Hodgman, and Kelly went offside. Had it been a clean pass and not tipped at center ice, J.P. Kelly was breaking down the left wing.
The assists on that goal for Gretzky at 10:20 in the 3rd. Anderson his 2nd, and Curry with his 3rd. 8-7, Kings in front. The largest lead for Edmonton, 3 goals at 4-1 in the first period. The Kings have led by a pair twice in the game. On both occasions, we were still in the 2nd period.
Been a rough game for the officials, too. Kevin Collins on his left cheekbone sporting a scratch. 9:17 left to go in the game. Remember, tomorrow night, same 2 teams on the air, radio and television live at 6:20, and Saturday night at the Fabulous Forum. Tickets available. Forum box office and Ticketron. Larry Murphy shoots it into the Oilers zone. Kings lead 8-7. Puck comes over to Charlie Simmer. Left wing boards. Simmer back to left point to Hardy. Hardy's shot deflects wide. Rebound off the boards. Oilers with it. Back they come to center ice. Dave Hunter checked hard there at center ice by Taylor. Larry Murphy takes it. Gives it to Hardy. Ahead to Dion. Dion to the other line. Dion shoots. Deflected up into the crowd. 8:52 to go in the game. Kings 8, Oilers 7. And the game coming away live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Kings hockey being brought to you by Toyota, the official car of the Kings. Stop by your Toyota dealers and catch the feeling. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota.
A lot of records being tied or broken tonight. Darrell Evans has tied a club record. Most points in a playoff game by an individual at 4. Mike Murphy had 4 back in April, the 15th of April in '77.
Kings win the draw, but Taylor's pass taken away by the Oilers. Pat Hughes ahead to Fogelman, ahead on the left wing now to Hunter. Hunter drives it into the Kings zone. Shot wide by Hughes. Puck comes around to the left point. Held in by Kevin Lowe. Lowe's pass in deep in the corner. Kings zone. Pass in front to Rolston. Couldn't get a shot. Taken by Dion. Back from the Kings to center ice. 3-on-3. Here's Dion to the red line. Drops it back to Larry Murphy. Into the Oilers zone. Murphy left side. Waits. Still has it. Passes into the corner. Taken by Steve Bozak. Bozak in deep. Bozak behind the Oiler net. Rolls it out in front, and it is cleared by Pat Hughes. This will be icing against the Oilers as the Kings go back to touch it. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is the Los Angeles Kings. Hullington looking on. The Oiler owner, Dr. Jerry Buss, the King owner, is here. We've had 15 goals scored in the game, and the Kings lead 8-7. Here's Doug Smith. He's got a King goal tonight. He's facing off with Messier in the Oilers zone. And the draw comes to the Oilers. We have 8:07 to go in the game. Pass up to center ice. Goes on the right wing. Offside pass. And the fans upset over that, but
I think the fans thought it was offsides, period. They didn't realize it was a two-line pass, and that is the call. And, well, looks like now Will Norris is correcting Kevin Collins because the face-off will be right at center ice, and Dave Lumley gives a word or two to Kevin Collins.
So that's the indication when a whistle is blown by mistake, face it off at center ice, and that's what happened here. Oilers with it, trying to tie the score. Messier, right wing side to the King line. Messier with it, down the middle, Hogman in front, score! The Oilers have tied the score. As Mark Messier gave it to Monty Hogman, he came down all alone and just shoveled it past Lessard. And the game is tied at 8-8.
The Kings did not get back quick enough, and Hogman just directed it underneath the arm of Mario Lessard, who is coming out to try and beat Hogman to the puck. Messier will get the assist along with Risto Siltanen. So it's an 8-8 hockey game.
Now the puck in the Oilers zone, and boy, they've got the momentum now. Here's Messier sending it up to center ice. Dave Lewis breaks it up. His pass broken up. Oilers with it. Pass to the King line. Korab takes it away. Korab left wing to Darrell Evans. Evans into the Oilers zone. Knocks it down. Checked by Siltanen. Siltanen has lost his stick. Danny Bonner tries to pick it up. He bumps Lumley, and the puck frozen in the Oilers zone. We have 7:24 to go. The score tied 8-8.
Hogman is first at 12-10. Messier assist 1, and Risto Siltanen his first assist. He has 2 of the Oilers' goals here tonight, and a league record has been set now. Most goals in one playoff game by both teams at 16. It was done 3 times, including tonight at 15. The last time it was done last season, Minnesota and Boston.
Puck is in play again. Gretzky with it, and an Oiler is injured. It's an Oiler injured on the play, and the whistle blows. Now this was behind the play. Paul Coffey got knocked down in the corner.
And Coffey is chatting with one of the Kings, Mark Hardy apparently, or Dan Bonner. Hard to tell,
or
everybody milling around.
Mike Murphy's being held off by Will Norris, the linesman.
Well, again, Bob, the Kings having problems in period 3 against the Edmonton Oilers. They have now been outscored in 9 games, including tonight with Edmonton this season, 25-7. The Oilers have a great skating club, and once they get that momentum going, they're hard to contain. The Kings got caught at center ice. The Oilers had a 2-on-1 down right wing. Then Hagman busted open on the left side and slipped it underneath Mario Lessard. We mentioned Dr. Jerry Buss, was in attendance, and he is in attendance, obviously, as we get a look at him on our simulcast.
Dr. Vince Carter, the Kings doctor, sitting right next to Dr. Jerry Buss. We are tied at 8-8 with 7:14 to go in the game. The Kings entered the third period leading 8-6. At one time early in the first period, they trailed 4-1. Puck taken by the Oilers. At center ice, Glenn Anderson, left wing, into the Kings zone. Anderson centers a shot by Gretzky, saved by Lassard. Oh, what a glove save. The puck was headed for the upper right-hand corner, and Mario Lassard went diving to his left and got a glove on it.
Boy, that was the best save of the game. A lot of the net for Wayne Gretzky. He thought he had one right there. It would have been his 5th point of the game, but Lassard, leaning towards his left, as far as he could go, got the end of the glove on it, juggled it, but then held on.
Gretzky again behind the net. Around, loses the puck. Picked up by Jimmy Fox. Fox to center ice for the Kings. Gets tripped there by Gretzky. Nothing called. Puck comes back into the Oilers zone. 6:49 to go in the game. 8-8. Kings with it at center ice. Bernie Nichols got knocked down, but he passed it into the Oilers zone. Now cleared, and J.P. Kelly brought it across the Oiler line, but an offside call.
Again, game 2 tomorrow night, here again at the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. 6:20 airtime.
What are these two teams going to do for an encore tomorrow night?
Boy, I tell you, it's been exciting. You have to give the players that. We've had some goals from some unknown sources in Darrell Evans, Charlie Huddy, but it has been exciting.
Wayne Gretzky with a goal and 3 assists tonight. Darrell Evans for the Kings, 2 goals. He's looking for the hat trick. Marcel Dion for the Kings, 2 goals, both on the power play. We have 6:42 to go in regulation time. That's all we need is a little overtime tonight. Puck comes into the Oilers zone. Kevin Lowe with to Hunter. Hunter slaps it all the way down in the Kings zone. This is going to be icing if it goes beyond the goal line, but it doesn't. Korav picks it up in the Kings zone. Get to Larry Murphy. Murphy can't hold it. Hunter takes it away. Behind the net to Ralston. He tried to roll it out in front. Taken by Charlie Simmer. Simmer bumps into Dave Hunter. Dion with it. Sends it to Larry Murphy. Murphy to center ice for the Kings. Murphy still with it. He's got a man. Simmer down the left side. Simmer shoots wide to the left side. And the puck taken by the Oilers. Back they come. Here's Hunter. Hunter to center ice, and a man down the middle was Ralston. 2 Kings came over to Hunter, and they had a man down the middle. Taylor takes it away. Taylor, right side. Taylor shoots, saved by Fuhr. Taylor with a rebound. To Simmer behind the net, didn't get it. Dion in to pick it up. Dion's pass. Simmer, trip, gets it to Dion. His shot wide. He's tripped in the slot. What happened to Ron Wicks? Here's Larry Murphy shooting, saved by Fuhr. And Ralston ices the puck. Boy, I'll tell you, maybe the Simmer trip was close, but Dion just simply got pulled, his feet pulled out from under him in the slot, and icing called against the Oilers. A couple of great chances there for the Kings. 5:37 to go in the game, 8-8 tie, and the game coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Kings hockey being brought to you by Kribari Wine. Kribari and parties, Kribari and good times. All the good things in life are even better with Kribari.
Again, the winners, another playoff game tonight. Chicago, St. Louis, Boston, Montreal, the Islanders, and Philadelphia.
Here's Hopkins with it behind the Oiler net. Hopkins still with it. Up the left side, Dave Lewis shooting. Deflected in front, and a rebound. Fallen on purposely. No whistle. Is a whistle yet? I guess so.
There was a whistle.
Siltonen fell on it on purpose. Oh, the Kings had a great chance there. One King player, and I'm not sure who it was. Was it Hopkins on the right wing? Fanned on the bouncing puck. If we have a replay on our simulcast, I'll be able to tell you who it was, but in the heat of the moment, I can't remember who was over there. Dave Lewis got the original shot, and it bounced up the middle, and it was still bouncing when Doug Smith tried to put it in, and then Siltonen thought he had it, but it came loose to Hopkins, and the whistle had blown. Boy, Doug Smith right there. Had the puck stayed on the ice, he had a goal. The right side of the net was wide open. 8-8 tie, 5:23 to go. Don Perry, King coach, looks on. This is his hometown. Face off to the left of Grant Fuhr. Out to the right point. Chartroff for the Kings. He shoots. Saved by Fuhr. Rebound to the Oilers. They got a man breaking. It's Lumley. Lumley down the left side is going to be a 2-line pass as soon as he touches it, and the whistle blows.
Situation right there. Lumley got over the red line before the puck. Had it been in reverse, then play could have continued when Lumley touched it first. That is one of the newer rules, which we keep mentioning to you, because the NHL adopted that rule about 5 years ago to speed up the game. It used to be a two-line pass automatically, but as long as that puck goes over the right line before the player who eventually touches it, then play can continue.
5:14 left in regulation time, and remember, there is overtime in the playoffs. Minnesota-Chicago went into overtime tonight, and Chicago won it at Minnesota. Face-off Oilers zone. Gretzky is out. Face-off with Dion. Taken away by Taylor to Dion. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Taylor shoots. Save. Simmer. Score! Charlie Simmer scores on the rebound, and the Kings lead 9-8.
Did that go in off his leg? I thought it might have gone in off his leg, but he was being pushed from behind, and we'll probably see this on the replay. Simmer will get credit for the goal. Ron Wicks allowing the goal. There is no dispute from the Oilers. Right off the draw, puck was in front. Huddy checked off the puck. Taylor gives it to Dion. His shot, the save was made. Rebound to Taylor, save, and then I think it went off Simmer's leg.
Now playing away again. Puck is in the Oilers zone. Puck taken by Jimmy Fox at center ice. His pass deflects back to the King line. Now cleared up to center ice by Chartrand, but the Oilers take it away. Here's Huddy. Huddy's got a short and a goal tonight. He drives it into the King zone, taken by Dave Lewis. Lewis behind the King net. Up to Jimmy Fox on the right wing. 9-8 Kings. Fox on the right wing shoots it into the Oilers zone. Chase toward the back of the net. Fewer cuts it off there. His pass held in by Kelly, taken away by Huddy. Oilers come back. 4:26 to go in the game. Here's Anderson at center ice. Can't hold it. Taken away by Fox. Jimmy Fox gives it back to Hardy. Hardy sends it up to Kelly. Kelly flips it into the Oilers zone. 4:15 to go in the game. 9-8 Kings. Puck comes over to center ice. Korab with it. Waits for the Kings to get onside. Now drives it off the left wing board. Siltanen takes it. We'll give you the assist and time again on that goal as soon as we get a chance. Siltanen's pass up to center ice. Here's Paul Coffey. Coffey to the King line. Across the line. Coffey shooting. Hit the goal post. He hit the left goal post and it came out, and it's cleared back into the Oilers zone by Darrell Evans. If the Oilers get to it, it'll be icing, and they do. Oh, was that close. Coffey came across the line and hit the left goal post.
This is getting comical, as George McGuire, Kings general manager, would say. 9-8 Kings at 14:56. Simmer, his first. Taylor assists 3. Dion number 1. And Don Perry's strategy of resting that big line certainly has shown that it has worked tonight, because that line has been out for quite a few goals. Taylor with 4 points. Dion with 3 points. Charlie Simmer has picked up a couple of points.
Face off to the left of Lassard. 3:46 to go in the game. Kings 9, Oilers 8. Bob Miller here along with Nick Nixon. If you aren't enjoying this one, I don't know what you're going to enjoy. Here's Danny Bonner ready on the draw with Messier. Oilers with it. Right point. LaRiviere shooting, tipped, and deflected up over the glass. Lumley got his stick on it right in the slot. Remember again, Saturday night, these two teams will be at the Fabulous Forum. There are tickets available. The Forum box office is open tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You can also get Kings playoff tickets at all Ticketron outlets.
Again, the Kings goal. Simmer at 14:56. Dion shot. Save was made. Rebound to Taylor. Save, and then I do believe it went off Simmer's right leg, but he was being hooked from behind a little bit, and that is probably the reason why Ron Wicks allowed it. The reaction of Wicks, I thought he didn't see how the puck went in.
I think you're right. He was in the corner kind of looking around. How did it get in? Here's Dan Bonner to center ice. He throws it into the Oilers zone. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. 9-8 Kings. Oilers with it. Pass up on the left wing is going to be an offside pass if the Oilers touch it, but they don't. Korab with it. He clears it up to center ice, taken away by Lumley. Here's Lumley into the King zone to Monty Hogman. Hogman drives it around the boards over to Messier. Messier behind the net, cut off by Korab. Loose puck in the corner, King zone. Hard check thrown there on Hardy. And now the puck along the boards. Korab throws a hard check there, and the puck throws him. So the Oilers threw a couple hard checks and got it right back from Jerry Korab. He checked Lumley hard against the boards.
Dave Lumley, one of the more aggressive forwards out there for the Edmonton Oilers. He enjoyed a fine season, 32 goals, 15 of those in a stretch of 12 straight games when he put together the longest goal-scoring streak in the NHL this year. In the first half of the season, he had a 12-game streak. Again, 15 of his 32 in that span.
This game coming your way live on radio and television from Edmonton, Alberta. Mark C. Bloom, Southern California's leading tire dealer with over 50 stores to serve you. Mark C. Bloom, they take care of your car from the tires up. Face off to the right of Mario Lessard. Doug Smith wins the draw from Marty Hogman. Back to Larry Murphy. Murphy behind the King net. Passes up the left side to Bozak. Bozak bumped along the boards, but he gets to the center ice. Taken away by the Oilers. The Riviere sends it back into the Kings zone. Larry Murphy waits with it. Now brings it up to center ice. Kings leading 9-8. Pass to Dean Hopkins on the right wing. He didn't get it. Comes into the Oilers zone. Chased down by Bozak. Bozak in deep. Bumped hard into the boards by the Riviere. Puck comes to Lumley. Lumley tries to clear it. He can't. It's held in by Dave Lewis. Taken by Bozak. Bozak left wing. Oilers zone. Bozak to the slot. Back to the left point to Lewis. Lewis sends it back behind the net. LaRiviere has lost his stick. It comes over to Dean Hopkins. Hopkins along the right wing. Gets checked there. Messier picks it up for the Oilers. 2:22 to go in the game. 9-8 Kings. Here's Messier down the right wing. Messier sends it in deep. Back to the right side. Held in. Oilers. Pass up the right side. Silton and shooting. Tipped wide. Rebound to Hopkins. 2:09 to go in the game. Hopkins in the Kings zone. Drives it off the boards to the Oiler line. Siltonen takes it. Siltonen down the right side. Ahead to Marty Hogman. Broken up by Dave Lewis. 2 minutes to go in the game. Kings 9, Oilers 8. Pass ahead. Kings with it. Taylor, Oilers zone. Taylor on the right wing boards. Taylor rolls it in deep. Picked up by Huddy. Huddy checked by Simmer. Oilers zone. It's kicked loose. Taylor with it. 1:45 to go in the game. Taylor's pass. Going to be taken by Siltonen. Headmans it out of the reach of Gretzky. Puck comes into the Kings zone. Gretzky chases it down. Lessard pokes it off the boards. Held in by Anderson. Knocked down by Taylor. Loose puck. Held in. Oilers. Curry to Gretzky behind the net. Look out. Gretzky centers it. Intercepted by Simmer. 1:25 to go in the game. 9-8 Kings. Here's Dion to the Oiler line. Dion down the right side. Dion cutting in deep. Dion in the corner. Check there. Oilers zone. Taken away by Hunter. Long pass. Breakaway. Gretzky. He can tie the game. He shoots. Saved by Lessard. A save by Lessard with 1:12 to go. And the Kings clear it. 9-8 Kings. Lessard with a save on a Gretzky breakaway. Oilers with it again. Anderson throws it into the King zone. 1 minute to go. Pass to center ice to Bernie Nichols. He's got Simmer with him. Nichols, the net is open. He shoots. He scores! The Kings score into the empty net. It's 10-8 with 52 seconds to go. The Kings score into the empty net. And Bernie Nichols does the pumpernickel. Somebody said that's what we should use for that. I've been waiting to use it. What a great time. The pumpernickel by Bernie Nichols.
What a save by Mario Lessard on Wayne Gretzky. That breakaway pass. Gretzky at the red line was being chased by 2 of the Kings, but he got the shot away. Lessard with an unbelievable save. Remember that one for the highlight film next year. Gretzky being chased from behind by Mark Hardy, and Rick Chartres knew he was being followed closely, tried to pick the low right corner. Lessard, leaning to his right, somehow got his left leg on it, and the rebound was cleared out to center. And with the empty net, Nichols put it in.
All right, now look out. 49 seconds to go. Puck fired into the Kings zone. Cleared to center ice by Bonner. The Oilers have Grant Fuhr back in the net. 40 seconds to go in the game. 10-8 Kings. Lessard stops Gretzky on a breakaway with 1:12 left in the game. Here's Dave Lewis. 30 seconds to go in the game. He flips it up in the air. 28 seconds at center ice. Remember, we'll have the post-game show coming up for you. Here's Ralston with it for the Oilers. His pass deflects back to center ice. Kings with it. 20 seconds to go. 10-8 Kings. Darrell Evans shoots it off the boards. The Kings have never won in this building. They're 13 seconds away from winning this first playoff game. Puck comes to the King line. They're 8 seconds away. Lessard with it. Cleared. The Kings are going to win it. 3 seconds to go. Puck comes in the Oilers zone. It's over. Oh, and the Kings beat the Edmonton Oilers. And the Kings lead the series 1-0. Do you believe it? The Kings 10, the Oilers 8, and a stunned crowd of 17,490 start to leave. Game 2 in the series tomorrow night will be on the air, radio and television at 6:20. Nick will be talking with one of the Kings downstairs in our post-game show. The Kings trailing 4-1 in the first period come back to win it 10-8 and take a 1-0 lead in this playoff. We'll be back to recap the third period in 1 minute. This is the Los Angeles. About a hushed crowd. They can barely believe what they saw. Wayne Gretzky stopped by Lessard on a breakaway with 1:12 to go. Bernie Nichols scores into an empty net with 52 seconds left, and the Kings have upset the Oilers in Game 1 of this playoff series 10-8. In the third period, the Kings came in leading 8-6. Wayne Gretzky got his first goal of the night and 93rd of the year from Glenn Anderson and Yari Curry at 10:20. That made it 8-7. The Kings ahead by 1. Then Monty Hogman got his first goal this season in the playoffs, assisted by Mark Messier and Risto Siltanen at 12:10, and the Oilers had tied it 8-8. In the 14:56 mark, Charlie Simmer gets what turns out to be the winning goal of the game, his first of the playoff, from Taylor and Dion at 14:56. That made it 9-8. Gretzky gets a breakaway with 1:12 left, and Lessard stops him. They pull the goaltender Fuhr, and Bernie Nichols scores his goal into an empty net, his first of the playoff series, assisted by Jimmy Fox at 19:08, and the Kings win at 10-8. The shots on goal in the third period, the Kings 10, the Oilers 8. The final total shots on goal, the Kings 34, the Oilers 33. Give the Kings all the credit in the world. They could have folded when they were down 4-1. They didn't. They battled back and won the game, and they'll try to make it 2 in a row tomorrow night in Game 2 of the series. We'll be on tomorrow night on radio and television, live in Southern California at 6:20. And for Nick Nixon, this is Bob Miller. We thank you very much for being with us, and we invite you to stay tuned now for Kings Wrap-Up, which follows immediately.
Been brought to you by Toyota, the official car of the Kings. See all the 1982 Toyota cars and trucks today at your Toyota dealer. Oh, what a feeling to drive a Toyota. And by Sears, where satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. For quality, value, and service, you can count on Sears. By Schlitz, the master brewer's brew. Just one taste and you'll know behind every Schlitz is a man who knows his beer. And brought to you by Kribari Wines. 80 years of winemaking skill go into every glass of Kribari wines, and all the good things in life are even better with Kribari. By Republic Airlines, the official airline of the Kings. Nobody serves our Republic like Republic Airlines. And by Great Western Savings, with nearly $11 billion in assets and more than 120 convenient locations to serve you.
Wrap Up with Bob Miller and Nick Nixon, brought to you by Pepsi-Cola. In Southern California taste test this year, more people preferred the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
Hello again, everyone. Live from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon with a wrap-up show. And there are going to be some eyebrows raised around Canada and North America after this score goes out on the wire. The Oilers came in, they were confident. Maybe not as confident as their fans and everybody else around here who thought the Oilers might be disgraced to lose one to the Kings. Well, it was hardly a playoff-type game, but it was a playoff, and the Kings win it by a score here in this game, 10-8 over the Edmonton Oilers. And in doing so, the two teams set a record, most goals in one game by two teams in a playoff, 18. The Kings set two club records, most goals in a period, 5, and most goals in a game, 10. And some of the stars are standing by right now to talk with Nick Nixon.
We're down here in a little bit of confusion. We can't find a third stool. We're talking with Dave Taylor and Darrell Evans, two of the Kings who had great offensive nights. Tonight was a night for goal scorers. Dave Taylor with a goal and 3 assists. Darrell Evans, of course, was recalled in early March, and he had 2 goals and 2 assists. First off, Dave, your goal really, I thought, was the key goal in the game because it was late in the first period. The Kings were trailing by 2, and with 7 seconds left, you scored to make it a 1-goal game.
Well, that was a nice play by Charlie. He took the puck wide, and I just kind of moved into the slot here. There's the pass coming to me. I just shot high for the far corner, and I was lucky it hit the net.
Fran Fuhr appeared to be screened by his own defenseman right there. Did you see the defenseman going down, and is that why you went up high with it?
Once the defenseman went down, yes, that's why I had to go up with it. And it's one of those shots that you practice all the time in practice, but only works, you know, maybe once or twice a year. But when they do go in, they feel nice.
Darrell Evans, has to be a great thrill for you. Your first ever NHL playoff game. You picked up 4 points, 2 goals, and 2 assists.
Yeah, it was a really good feeling. Like, I've been scoring some points there in the last few games of the season, and it was a great feeling there to get that first goal, you know, get on the roll a bit there. And the guys really worked hard, you know, the guys we were on the ice with. So it was, you know, just an all-around effort, and I just happened to be there to be able to cash in for the goal.
Your first goal, Grant Fuhr was down, and I believe this was when Mark Hardy just missed tipping in a centering pass from Doug Smith.
Yeah, and the puck come in off the end boards there and come straight out to me, and I just come in off the bench from a change from Steve Bozak. So I just skated in and let it go on the fly, and I just happened to put it up over everybody who was down on the ground in front there, and it went in for me.
I thought that all of the rookies, all of the youngsters on this club played very well. What did Don Perry tell the guys in between periods 1 and 2 when the Kings were back in the game after falling behind 4-1?
Well, after a great inspirational goal there by Davey, it got all the guys, you know, back in the game. We felt we could do it again, built our confidence up, and we knew we were right back in there. We were only down a goal, so we just, you know, we got us all really up and going, and, you know, he just said, keep going, you know, you got your confidence, you know you can do it now, and we just took it from there.
Your second goal, I guess a situation where you were in the right place at the right time. Dan Bonner stole the puck, had a shot, and you can pick it up from there.
Yeah, Dan shot there, and Grant Fuhr made a beautiful toe save, and I just picked up the rebound there and slammed it right back where it came from, and Grant wasn't able to see it or make a movement at it, and it was in the back there. It happened pretty quick.
Again, we're chatting with 2 of the Kings stars, Dave Taylor with 4 points, Darrell Evans with 4 points. And Darrell, one last question. What was the feeling on the club when you were down 4-1? I thought the club was scrambling around in the first 5 minutes. They took some bad penalties. The Oilers did the same in the second period, but how was it on the bench there when you were down by 3?
Well, I think like coming into the game, we were pretty hyper, and we were really eager to get into it, get a good start, and guys wanted to, you know, every first game there's always, you know, a lot of physical contact and everything, and our guys just happened to get, you know, a little high-strung, and we went out and got a couple of early penalties, but you know, a game can't be over in 3 or 4 minutes, and it was good that our guys realized that, and we had 55 more minutes to play the game, and we just took it from there, pecked away, you know, and we just, you know, played a good, balanced, strong game. We just got stronger as it went on, and, you know, come out the winners.
10-8, the Kings over the Edmonton Oilers as the Kings take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-5 series. The Kings now suddenly have the home ice advantage. They will go at least 3 games, and Kings fans may see 2 games at the Forum. After all, of course, if the Kings win tomorrow, there's a chance for a sweep. Again, Dave Taylor, 4 points. Darrell Evans, 4